Welcome to this episode of Six Idiots and One Dice.
You know, I feel like my job is being stolen.
I know, right?
You don't do a very good job of
Jam,
Nate,
please.
Nate, we've got to learn to share.
Welcome
Jam,
to the
please,
challenge.
stop
Nate.
this.
We love you.
Please stop this. I can't
Nothing.
take
Team
this.
buddies.
It's a team bunny!
I,
Yes.
I'm now
we're gonna
beginning
have
to
make
know
something
how
happen
Abby
now.
feels.
Share in my pain.
No, thank you. You have your pain, I'll have mine.
Right.
So,
Sorry.
We return to our adventurers as they make their way towards the famed Twisted Vines jungle. The cart, which I've spelt here as chart, gently makes its way along the rough laid-out track. Two new acquaintances of the party ride with them, one in the cart and another alongside. It had been a quiet morning in Axmouth, despite the doomsaying from the day before. The druid had made their way to the local pet store, aiming to acquire a bird to utilize a spell of theirs. This plan seemed to quickly slip from his mind as for when he left the shop, 3 new members of the Syrcas accompanied him. Once some shenanigans between the party and the ranger's animal companion had settled down, the party set off to head out of town. They were just reaching the Swallows, away the arcane method of crossing the river, when something else grabbed their attention. An explosion, to be exact. The short silence that followed, the party made its choice. They set off towards the sound, in contrary to most of all of the other citizens who were heading away. Leaving the cart, they made their way down to the docks. The two that got there first found a galley on fire, guards unconscious, and those in unbranded armor killed with the ship burning. A few of the party noticed people in ragged clothes, side chains, getting as far away from the ship as they possibly could. As two rushed forward, one of them to douse the flames, the other to stop them, the rest of the party noticed and chased after an elven figure ducking into an alleyway. As they rounded the corner, they found an arcane circle flaring up as he disappeared. Charging after, they found a cold, damp stone surrounding them, and 2 displeased figures. A brief conversation later, the group found themselves meeting back up with the rest of the party at the cart. This was where they found the first of the new travel buddies. An elvish woman, dressed in rags, and part of a mantle hanging around her wrist. It was quickly chosen to take her with them out of the city. The other was a bit less of an exciting tale, a simple hunter making their way out of the jungle. After an exchange of small talk and then some game for a coin led to them agreeing to help guide the party through at least part of the jungle. What new friends have the Syrcas made? In fact, what new enemies might they have created? What does the jungle hold? And do I get to foretell the total annihilation of a continent? Let us see what this adventure holds for us today with the dummies and their dice.
Wait, hold on. What is that about an entire continent?
Okay.
I will say, apologies for the somewhat iffy sound of everyone. We have no idea why Discord's been a pain today.
Hang on. I have
So,
an idea. What happens if we try using... Where the fuck's it gone?
The voice school?
Let's say
Yeah,
everyone
let's see,
sounds
we could do,
extremely robotic on my end. Or is it just me?
Yeah,
That one.
everyone's sounding robotic.
Yeah, everyone is.
Yeah, this one. What happens if we try this one?
We
We'll
can-
be back shortly.
don't go anywhere.
You can only hear me for the moment.
Is this gonna work better?
It sounds a lot better.
That sounds a lot better already.
Mm.
A lot better.
Wow,
Oh
that's weird.
God.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit, Pig's tail, get out of this fucking thing. Shoot, leave. Be gone, heathen.
Be gone, thought.
Thank you.
So,
Oh,
Abby,
shit. Hang on. Get my freaking music out of here as well. Thank you. Everyone here? Anyone who isn't here, say aye.
Hi.
All right, half the party didn't make it.
a
You
letter,
can do one as normal.
a vow letter.
Damn it, Comet.
I thought
That
it
was
was,
A
just
consonant.
depressing.
I thought it
That
was
was
funny.
Just depressing. That
I
was
thought it was
depressing.
funny. All right.
Yeah, like my
Mhm.
depression. Oh my god.
I don't find
Nine.
that funny. I don't find
Ooh.
that funny.
Is anyone else
Guys.
on the stream? Is it meant to be black and white?
What?
Oh,
The stream is black and white for me, but when the character things scroll over, they're in colour. So
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
curious what you were going on about.
what the?
The screen is black and white for you.
I
yeah,
should.
when you go on the stream, the whole map thinks black and white, but when I go on the
Ooh,
roll
new not
20,
safe for
it's
work
in
chat
colour.
filters automatically hide words and phrases in chat you don't want to see. Tap to get started.
Hey,
Is this just my Twitch being dumb?
Well, I currently have an advert.
Same.
Yeah, no, it's color for me.
Yeah, it's
Okay, it's just mine being dumb. Never mind. That's why my
Alright.
computer does this sometimes.
Well, as long as you're still able to roll dice.
I don't know, man.
Whoa. What?
That-
No, I don't want to see anything else in grayscale. I have enough of it with printers.
I thought you were going to say just day-to-day sight, but okay.
I know.
That too.
Sophie, how is your shit gray?
Yeah,
I've got no
'cause
idea.
I got genuinely scared for a minute. I was like, oh, how have I fucked this up this time?
Hello and welcome to Procrastinating D&D
Right.
with me, the god of procrastination.
And welcome to technical difficulties.
It's fine. Nothing's burning, so I
Well-
consider that
Oh,
a win.
thank
mean-
you. Not
Maybe.
something gonna burn.
I can relight the
Burn,
candle if you'd
burn.
like.
A ring
No.
of fire.
Okay.
Copyright strike.
Where did I put the lighter? Oh, it's all the way over there. Oh, we're not doing
There's a
that.
lighter in front of me.
No.
Great, just chuck it across the ocean, yeah?
So the
Got
cart
it.
explodes and everyone takes 2d8 worth of damage.
I can't
What?
take that. Agnes would be dead.
I can take that. I'd be fine.
So the sun is beginning to set as you are traveling along the rough roads. The cart is
Hang on,
bouncing
no.
unevenly.
Am I the only one who took that seriously for a moment? I'm just genuinely
Hello and
scared.
welcome
for
to
my
me.
life.
Hello and welcome to me getting control of the party by threatening pain to your characters.
Oh
Look,
no,
my
I'm more
child's
than
simple
willing for
enough.
Cerno to feel pain.
Sorry, threatening death.
I'm more than happy for him to die as well. That's what makes things interesting. Possibility
Whoa.
of death.
Do we need to take Cerno away?
Fine,
From
he'll be
I don't-
petrified.
Mm.
He will be wished out of existence.
As long as it's made
Heck yeah.
interesting.
Can someone do that to me, please?
No.
Oof,
No.
relatable.
Right,
Push
Anyway.
away your
Or else-
sadness.
rocks will start falling. You are traveling along a rough road. Sun is beginning to set. You've spent the vast majority of the day now traveling out of Axenmouth off of the, let's say, interesting departure method. The Centurion makes them sound like a Roman soldier. The centaur ranger, who you have somehow managed to talk into traveling with you, is
No, we
keeping
paid them.
pace. Yeah, you essentially just bought them the game.
We paid them to come with us. Let's not dress it
Nope.
up.
Mhm.
Yep. So they are just traveling. They are walking alongside the cart, keeping pace with the slow amble of your horse. Do you hold much conversation on this road?
Not
I'm gonna
really.
go with.
I think I'm
no.
driving.
Let's think back to
Cerno
the amount
is up
of conversation
beside
I've
Agnes,
sustained.
so he's just sitting beside Agnes, just being quiet.
I'm
Alright.
still
I-
going on about.
Can I
Corey.
try and pet the dragon?
The dragon is still not overly happy to see you.
He remembers.
He's also stubborn.
He's also very stubborn.
It'll take a little while to warm.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty dragon.
Very pretty.
However, as the night begins to set, Pardon me. Karann suggests that perhaps we want to make camp before we get into the jungle itself.
Yes.
Does it make
Sure.
sense?
It can be difficult to traverse, and you're also going to have to find a place to leave your horse and cart. That would be best done in light.
Hmm.
Who's Serna, you're good at this nature stuff. Why don't you find somewhere?
Hmm? What?
The horses. We're
I,
going to have to leave them.
I recommend we camp for the night, and then we figure out where to leave them.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Sure. You can do that.
The edge of the jungle is probably about a mile's travel from here.
You don't suggest going any nearer then?
For the first night, I would suggest we keep our distance.
What happens in the jungle at night?
About the same that happens during the day. You just don't see it coming.
What happens in the jungle during the day?
You're about to find out, aren't you?
Look, she's
onward comedy
uneducated,
gold
okay?
here.
One would think an elf would have some good ideas of what might happen in a jungle.
Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't.
Then apparently this one does not.
Anyway, let's just get set up.
Yes.
Would Seven Gill have heard tales about what happens in a jungle at night?
I really want them to be really elaborated.
Yes.
Well, it depends on the tales that you're thinking of.
So what do I need to know to see if she knows?
Let's roll a history check, please, Havengal.
God damn it. Sorry.
Savangao recalls many a ghost story of groups of teenagers getting lost in the woods and slowly being picked off one by a murderous. We'll go with giant anaconda snake for this one.
My
thought you were gonna
anaconda
So it's a
dope.
horror movie except with the giant snake instead of a mass murderer. Alright.
Pretty much.
It's Slenderman, but with a giant snake rather than Slenderman.
It's Snakeman.
Oh my god.
He was such a snake
A
all along.
snake which stands 6 feet tall and yet still slithers along.
And he has a cardboard box
Although
that he
actually,
wears on his
speaking
head.
of that, there are quite a lot of vines, and the snake and the story does include the fact that the snake can travel through the trees, along the branches, and across vines. So it's not just bound to the ground. A relatively spooky story. Accuracy unknown.
If you all think this is scary, yeah.
I mean, we fought scarier things.
I mean,
than that.
Comet, that's just your life, right?
I mean, they literally had to pull a snake out of a toilet after it bit someone on the arse, okay?
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Was this recent?
This was recent! I have been checking
Oh
the
my
toilet
God.
a lot more now, I will say. But,
They've been hiding in the toilets because of the heat. Right, on the sewage.
yeah,
I mean, just hover.
no.
Anyway,
Agnes is gonna whisper to Seno and ask him if he has anything to do with the shackles on our new traveller. Can you help? You don't have any metal spells today?
Not today. I'll have a look tomorrow. But I can try something now. How big are the shackles? Like, are
Pretty
they
decent.
Are they a
They're
looser fit? Like someone could
What
reach
about
their
the butter?
fingers in
What about the
between
melting
and-
knife?
Do we still have that?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So I still
Oh wow.
Doesn't it have
There's enough
charges?
space for her to move her arm around without it rubbing too much. It seems like these were designed to essentially stop from running away, but not hinder their ability to do much.
Okay. I'll grab out the melted butter knife and I'll move over to Amara.
Whoa, 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 whoa. She's going back up.
It's okay. It's okay. Give me your arm.
What damn it, this isn't even me trying to...
Sono's going to reach out, grab the hand, pull it closer, focus on the shackle, and he's going to try and move the butter knife in between a gap and sort of pull it against... do they lock against the locking side where they open? He's going to pull it that way?
Make an investigation check.
Okay, then.
Oh no.
She's just gonna stand there and look kind of shocked.
15?
Right. As you inspect it closely, at first glance, it appears to be a solid band of metal, which is a bit weird. But as you look closer, you notice that there is actually a hidden hinge, not very used very often, and seems a bit stiff. And there is a hidden spot for a sort of a small sliding plate, which can be moved, which allows access for a key to go in and unlock this shackle. I will remind you have to be careful that the blade cuts through anything.
Yeah, I know. Is it
The
like the
whole of the blade.
The
It's
whole
not
of
just
the
the
blade.
edge.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Hang on. You lot talk while I quickly look at spells I can have.
I mean,
Okay.
if you were careful, you could gently cut down towards it, and then obviously with the hinge, you would be able to open it up. But like sticking it underneath and then pulling up, you'd have to be extremely careful because all of the blade can cut anything.
I mean, I have the heat metal spell, but I feel like that wouldn't work.
That might just scald her wrist.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, I don't take a spell and waste it and not need in the morning.
Maybe we can attempt to pick the lock on it, if there is a lock.
There is a lock. Sana has found a lock.
Too bad none of us are rogue.
Yeah.
What kind of... Does it look like that if I just poke the lock with the knife and move it around a bit, will that just open it? Like if I break the lock?
Well, you'll certainly stop it from being able to function, but you feel like there's probably a deadbolt in there, a deadbolt type thing in there, which you need to either retract or cut through for it to be able to open up. Or you could just cut a new space for it to hinge around.
Okay, hang on. I'm just going to quickly check if any of my my spirit totems give me advantage on dex checks, because I assume that's what I need to make.
Yes, it will be.
I have a +3 in Dex and +6 for saving throws.
As you guys are all pretty much just crowded around.
You know, Agnes pulled and whispered to Cyrano to make this all subtle.
Karann seems to be sort of flattening an area and slowly piling up some wood to make a campfire. They kind of kneel down. You see them whisper something, and the fire catches.
I'll go
She a magic girl.
help with that. She got some magic. She a ranger. We got magic. Rangers got their magic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'll go lend a hand in setting up camp whilst this is getting.
Hey, Atlas.
Savengale's help preparing the boar that she bought.
The falcon sits on her shoulder, just watching.
Alright, Sano's gonna pass the butter knife to Savangale, point out where the hinge and the lock are, and leave it from there.
Alright.
What are you gonna do?
I suppose I'm going to cut the chain
The chain is already cut. She just has.
I mean, cut the manacle that's around her arm.
Okay. I would require a dex check from you, please.
Ginger, I can hear you breathing.
And she is currently praying to her brother, who is a rogue, to help give her luck.
All right. So you take Amara's arm and sort of holding it in your paws, sitting cross-legged, begin to slowly cut into the manacle. And as you're doing so, you're making good progress until Amara sort of looks over and, slightly skittish as she is, she sort of jumps slightly. You cut through the entirety of the chain, but you do leave a bit of a cut across the back of her hand as she kind of jumps and pulls her hand away. The manacle falls off, but there is now a very thin, very precise cut just going from about the center of her wrist just down to where her fingers start.
I am so sorry.
No. That was my fault. Don't worry.
Sam will cast healing word on her cut on her hand.
No, don't waste it.
All right. Well, you cast healing word, and it the cut seals up and leaves a faint white scar.
We don't want infections here. As my sister says, even an open wound can lead to death. And you just apparently escaped death recently.
No, no more death, please. Ooh. Okay.
Pin set up the tents in the camp.
Can Amara try and help?
She certainly can. There's, although point of note, you've got what? I think it's 4 tents to now 7 people.
I can sleep in the cart.
The
cart
open roofed cart.
There's a trunk, isn't there?
There is a trunk, but it's full of bits of dirt, boar fur, and skull fragments.
Yeah, just seamless.
Skull fragments.
Yeah, skull fragments.
Agnes has the skull fragments.
No, Agnes has a skull.
Oh no.
Where are the skull fragments from?
Good question.
Oh no.
Does anyone bother to check the the trunk that regularly?
Oh, fuck!
Not.
Have things died in that trunk?
I don't.
Not that we know of.
Cerno doesn't know this. Cerno doesn't know this. He's going to pick up the cages one by one and carry them off to a little ways off from the campsite, so just be on his own.
All right. Well, Karann
Agnes
is
probably would have noticed the skull fragments in the trunk and just shut it and be like, nope, not saying anything. Nope.
just opens it, looks in, sees it, reaches round, finds the skull, looks back down, just closes the lid, and then turns and walks away.
Like, no. Nope.
I don't need to deal with this right now, sort of attitude. Well, Karann is doing this sort of legs folded in underneath her, lying down sort of pose that you see quadrupeds do, and is, well, stoking the fire and seemingly feeding her falcon little bits of food. Sarno's wandering off with his 3 bird friends. What's everyone else doing?
I have a flute.
Oh no. I suggest that there is no music tonight.
Okay, she's just gonna slip.
Just simply.
She was as she was saying that, she was just kind of pulling the flute out of her bag, so now she's just gonna slide it back in kind of subtly.
Agnes is looking right at Savangel, just like, no music.
Savangel gives the kitty eyes as she's carving out the pig.
Just holding the knife and slicing, just like.
Just the giant eyes just stabbing into meat and slicing. But Mom...
We don't need any more attracted attention than we may have been here.
The last time we were noisy in a place we weren't supposed to be noisy, a dragon attacked us.
Oh.
Then there was the giant.
You
We
guys,
all know how well that went.
you guys get up to a lot, don't you?
Too much.
I mean, maybe.
It finds us more than we find it.
Yes. We go searching for one thing, another thing turns up.
Gets in the way.
Pretty much.
It was very strange.
It's almost like there's some kind of god out to get you.
Well, they're all certainly
You
gods.
haven't travelled these lands very much.
Certainly
There's a
doesn't
lot of
seem-
stuff out to get you.
Hmm.
You don't need to be in these lands for that.
Some things will go to extreme lengths to find you.
She's just gonna go. She's gonna go quiet now.
This is a great conversation, guys. Real proud of this.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I know what you're doing with your birds.
Alright, I'm taking him off. I'm gonna find a.
Like he knows what to do with them.
Oh my god.
I feel like there's something that I'm not getting here. But I
Yes,
can't
there
put
is.
my finger on it.
Oh my fucking god, hun. Why?
One halfling, 3 birds. What am I missing here? I'm going to ignore that.
Oh my god, no.
I'm going
no.
to ignore that.
Like-
No.
Comment.
No.
Bird stand for.
Nope. I am going to choose to ignore it. I'm taking my
move on.
birds. Fuck you all.
No!
Off to a nice spot. I'm gonna set them all down.
Oh.
I'm going to continue casting the speak with animal spell ritually, and I'm gonna hold a nice conversation with them. I'm going to explain why I bought them, or the original reason why I bought them, and how I got a little carried away.
Alright.
And then I'm going to and then I'm going to, if I can, summon all of my spirit totems. And I'm going to introduce them all to each other.
Cerno, the Disney princess.
So I know the Disney princess does the meet and greet.
Yeah, and I'm going to explain to the hawk how this hawk, the orc that I summoned, are in no way competing for superiority over each other.
The hawks seem to be having a stare down.
No, stop that! No, be friends, damn it!
Just staring at each other.
Do they seem to understand the "I need a message delivered"?
Yes, well, 2 of them do. One of them doesn't seem to quite understand you most of the time. It's just having a whale of a time now, flying in very, very tight circles.
Okay. I'm gonna ask: are they trained to like return to their owner at all? Like, have they been trained at all like that?
Not really. The parrots, I mean, you could probably let them out. Once they got used to you, if you let them out around your house, they'd probably, they'd start getting used to you, they'd come to you, but you probably wouldn't want to let them outside. The falcon, not falcon, hawk. Falcon's the other one. The hawk hasn't really received much training at all, but it could be trained to do so. So, also the distances you're going to be wanting them to fly with the animal messenger will take a significant amount of training.
Yeah. Shit, I haven't even thought of the message I'm supposed to send. God. Okay,
Shifting planes, druid stones.
I guess. Yeah, so he's just gonna have a nice conversation with them and stuff, get to know them.
All right. Well, you've been talking to them most of the day, and you're getting a pretty good grasp on their personalities.
That'll be it.
All right. So, night ticks by. You take turns taking watch. And I just want two of you to roll perception checks.
Ooh,
Nose goes.
can I do it? I've got a +5 on that.
Agnes usually offers to take watch, but
I do.
Oh, you're all taking
Sure,
watch.
sure.
I just want
Yeah.
two of you to roll perception.
Is it like during each of our watches that we're making these
No, I was going to
perceptions?
say, I just want, in general, two of you to make a perception.
Just
Okay, I'll do one of them.
I'll make the other. Now I'm going to ask, can I do it with advantage for Hawk Spirit if I summoned him at any point? No? Okay.
You can roll flat because I won't penalize you for being blind.
Alright, thank you.
You forget about that.
And perception 12.
Okay. From where you're camping, it seems quite a pleasant night. The rainstorm, which raged for the last pretty much week and a half. It was 2 weeks, wasn't it? It seems to have cleared most of the air. It is a cloudless night. The stars above twinkle. The moon is actually, it's reaching the end of its cycle. It's nearly a new moon. Only a couple more nights until it's a new moon. And nothing seems too amiss. There's the odd creatures moving in the distance. However, Amara, for you almost every now and then, you kind of glance along the tree line, which you can see from here. It is only a mile away, and you're on quite flat plains leading to the river. Glancing along the tree line, you swear sometimes it looks different to when you last looked across it.
Can I check with someone else about this?
It's only really you who notices it.
If I pointed it out to someone, would they notice?
It's kind of difficult. It's quite a distance. There's no real way Sano will be able to see it, even with the pretty decent light of the night. His eyesight is just not capable. You might be able to. You can inform others, and they could maybe try and look out for it. But there's just a feeling which sort of
right.
feels within you that it's just not right. You can't go, "Oh, that tree's moved." It just feels different.
Okay, and it's not just her being paranoid, because
Not just her being paranoid.
okay.
So, morning comes. A relatively peaceful night's sleep for most. As you awaken, the sun is just beginning to rise. There's a faint tweeting of a couple of birds, and then some louder tweeting of some birds and a cawing, and then the grumbles of a small pseudo-dragon who wants some more ham.
Oh my god.
despite regretting the amount he ate the previous day.
You're supposed to be smart and wise.
You look at him, his tongue is just hanging out as he's trying to lick just underneath his eye.
There's no ham stuck. There's no ham stuck there. Trust me, I can see it. There's nothing there. One of these days.
He's still gonna try because he doesn't know if he might get a piece that he can't see.
Why is my sibling so stupid?
You get the sense of shock and being offended. You can almost hear, "How dareth you!"
Dear, how dare I? You've made some pretty choice comments yourself.
He kind of curls up and goes back to, from what you get, brief images, him being proud of his fort of his little dragon horde he got the other day.
Oh, one day. One day we'll get you another one.
His eyes seem to wander over towards Boar.
I just look at him
Ask him later.
and no.
Alrighty. So, with breakfast done and everyone awoken, Jam,
Mhm.
pay attention.
Ma'am.
Sure you are.
To the jungle.
Well,
Is there anything we should be on watch for?
first of all, is there anything people do in the morning before you set off?
Use the bathroom.
Okay, good. Your mother has taught you well.
Samago's going to send a message the night before to her troop about the thing with the ship.
Okay. You get. You
Can
get a sort of long and rambly reply along the lines of, "Whoa, cool story. You should really come and visit and tell us that in person." And then it sort of cuts off mid-sentence.
Cool story, bro. When you getting here?
Oh, that like totally radical. Sort of. They seem rambly. Sort of like, yeah, that sounds great. You know, we should really meet up again. You should tell us. I bet you've got plenty of cool stories to tell us now. That sort of stuff.
Agnes is just keeping things packing up.
Organizing, mothering.
would anyone have
Me and
followed
Agnes.
us this far?
Hmm?
Would anyone have followed us this far?
Well, you haven't exactly been stealthy.
Can I don't know, see if I see any sign. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Is anyone off in the distance watching us?
That, yes.
Well, roll a perception check again then. Glancing around, sort of climbing onto the cart to try and get a better height vantage over things, you sort of glance. You can see the road sort of leading from Axon Mouth. There appears to be, roughly from what you can see, maybe a couple of people making their way along it. You sort of glance towards further down, well, I mean, technically, further towards Lake Cross around sort of that, following that path. And from what you can see, there seems to be one person solitary on a horse traveling along away from you guys. I mean, doesn't appear to be people following you, but there appear to be like some people near-ish. You're essentially at like one of the closest points between the main road and the twisting vines jungle.
Okay.
What's Karann doing?
Oh yeah, that's the point. She's here.
She, well, first of all, helps tidy up camp. Disperses the remains of the fire. She very, sort of disperses it so that it doesn't. It doesn't show that it was once here, but also sort of careful to make sure that it's all burnt out. All burnt out, sort of cold ash, not going to start any fires, and then disperses it out evenly, sort of around. And by the time she's done, it's actually quite hard to sort of tell that there was a fire there. I mean, the grass all around is flattened, which is a bit of a giveaway that you camped, but like.
Alright. Well, I'm impressed. But
We should find somewhere. We should find somewhere for the horses.
Oh yes.
Cerno?
Welcome.
Oh.
We could do what we did before, back when we first met.
Cerno will
Hide
have
them.
taken the hawk and gone back to the spot he was at before and ritually casted animal messenger.
Okay, is that a ritual spell? I generally haven't looked
was
at
it?
it at all.
Oh, was it? I don't remember. I thought it was. Yeah, no, it's a animal messenger ritual spell.
All right. Yeah, no, I
Alright, so we've had a little rest.
Yep.
That.
I was gonna say I haven't I haven't whatchamacallit, I haven't looked at the spell that much, so.
Yeah, now I just need to double check that the maximum is 25 words. Now let's speak with animals, an animal messenger.
You can also speak messages of up to 25 words.
Right, okay. The message I sent is, Black Druid Stone at Mapletide is gone, stolen by something big, heading to the Storm Temple in the jungle, look after my bird, from Cerno. And I describe Gaian to, the hawk. A big Goliath man, it's just a big Goliath, effectively. Hanging out with the herd or something. I haven't actually thought about what he looks like, to be honest.
You do a much better. Cerno does a much better description than Comet does.
Thank you.
Before feeding the bird a little bit of dried meat from your rations, you're kind of opening the cage, ruffles its feathers slightly, stretches the wings before quickly darting off to the sort of actually no, it would be in quite an easterly direction.
Okay then. I'll turn around and I'll go back to the rest of the group.
Alrighty. So, animal messenger sent. What do you do?
I suggest we leave the horses some way away from the tree line.
Yeah, probably. I'd like to find a nice place to hook up the horse. And
Well,
such.
let's make an investigation check, why don't we?
Investigation check. Yay.
Let us see what can be found.
And natural 20.
Alright, so glancing around, the land is relatively flat, and there's an odd tree or two dotted around. You spend about half an hour kind of slowly making your way along the road until you find you see a spot off in the distance, a tree sort of near the base of a hill, and as you guys make your way over, carefully picking the cart through the somewhat rough and difficult terrain, you find that there's actually a nice little sort of natural spring of water which just sort of trickles down. Quite a nice place to tie the horse up. The cart, slightly more difficult. You kind of position it around this sort of small hill, put grass all over, kind of put grass over it to try and hide it, some twigs. From a distance, it would pass. Get too close, people would notice it's there.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty proud of this.
It is a good spot.
Zeno's
By
gonna...
the way, you do know you only have one horse now, right?
Yeah.
You remember that. One got eaten by a basilisk.
Oh,
Yeah. I do.
I missed that.
That was more to Jan, because she keeps on saying horses.
And then Na has the other. Well,
Zeno's
Na had
gonna
his own
make
horse
sure
that we
that
borrowed.
the horse is
Yeah,
comfy.
now has his own horse.
The horse is comfortable, alright with this, happy, stuff like that.
It seems alright. So,
Then shall we go over?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Carefully.
I guess
through the
that's a
jungle.
yes then.
Onward, and I lead the party.
Can I?
I was
say
about
that
to ask who would be best to lead.
Zeno is going
Can
to
I-
climb up onto Bald's shoulders.
Mm.
Because he
I've-
trusts
can I
Bald, but
say
he doesn't trust him with directions.
I've probably told Agnes about what I noticed with the trees overnight because I trust her the most.
Yeah, don't trust the girl.
Would I have made sense of any of it?
One paranoid person told another paranoid person that tree line doesn't feel right. Something's changing about it.
Tree line changing, moving, got it. Okie dokie. I mean, this is where Boar comes from, so it can't. I changed my mind.
It can't be too.
Oh.
Oh, that might explain a lot.
I keep asking this, but does a jungle count as a forest?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I will help lead them.
But you can't have 5 people leading 7. That just doesn't work.
Wait, why are we having 5 people? I thought Ball was attempting to lead. And I'm just gonna help him out because I
Boar the centaur and Arsene.
And Sona on my shoulders.
so
This
it's
is
just
my
Sen-
point. You've got like 4 people leading 7.
Senna's just there.
Hey, if it's any help, Amara needs it. She's clueless.
Don't
Apparently
worry,
I was
Agnes
more
is with you.
distracted by the noises in the forest and making mental notes about the noises so she can try and use it for inspiration for her music.
But yeah, not even at the
Nice.
bloody jungle yet.
I mean what you can hear already.
Welcome to the jungle. We got funny.
Right, so
things.
Ball
Actually,
strides
Zeno's
off
going
with
to be
Senna.
behind, carrying his 2 bird cages, not leaving them behind.
Yep.
All right. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Because Nido's
Right,
You
Don't
might have
about
disadvantage
them.
on stealth, Comet.
Mm.
Sylvan
You sure you
Swell.
don't wish to leave
really
them?
carry across the wind.
You sure you don't wish to leave them?
Well, how
Or-
long are we going to go to the
I
temple
don't-
for?
I don't know, but you could also do a good thing and, I don't know, set them free.
No, that's environmental terrorism.
What she
Shut up,
said.
cat.
I'm going to take 10 minutes to cast speak with animals.
Oh my god.
I'm going to ask, would they prefer to be free or stay with us?
Whee!
Like, let out of the cage or stay with us? That's what I'll ask.
Right, these aren't the smartest of creatures.
They're gonna get themselves killed.
Whee!
One seems to have even less intelligence than the other,
Whee!
and kind of just wants to go fly. The other sort of poses the counter question of which one's going to be easier to live.
They're less likely to be put in danger if they're set free.
I'm going to...
No, they're in more danger. They're not in their native habitat.
And you wish to bring them with us?
Zano's going to put the cages in the cart, and he's going to set them up with plenty of food for however much food he can, I guess, because he doesn't know how long they're going to be. He doesn't even know how long it is to the temple.
I mean,
He
I'm
sticks.
sure.
He sticks a. You sort of spill open the bag into the bottom of both of their cages, and they seem somewhat satisfied with this. And the horse seems to be grateful for some company.
Okay. Be good. No wild parties. We'll be back soon. And he'll wander on off and join Boar up in the front.
All right.
If I come back and they're all dead, I'm going to be sad with you all.
Look, they're going to die one way or another.
What if Cerno dies? Who gets the birds?
Me.
Agnes sets them free.
Oh.
Now I'm expecting me to die today, guys. Really? The less I think about that, the better.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
going on a nice trip through the jungle.
Won't you?
All right.
Follow
So,
me?
who is leading this party?
Me.
I assume Boar knows the way somewhat.
I would like to actually put my favorite terrain to good use. Please. I rarely get to use it.
Wait, does our friendly centaur know where the temple is?
Have you asked?
Agnes asks.
There are many things in the jungle. I believe I may know of the temple you speak.
Well then, you can correct him when he's wrong, I guess. If he believes
Just because I know of it does not mean I know the best way to it.
this is true. I guess we're trusting Boar.
If this is his temple, he may know best.
The May is what worries me.
She kind
And
of
I'm
gives a
gone.
slight shrug, and the falcon shifts its position on her shoulder. Almost slightly disgruntled that it was awoken from its sleep.
How dare you?
Oh, dearest.
Alright,
And done
Boar,
then.
lead the way.
Yep. And I leave.
All right, Bo. Make a survival check.
Survival check.
Survival.
That's a +2, guys.
Oh boy. I mean, we can't... Oh, we can get lost.
Yep.
It's alright, guys, because it's 22.
You
Wait,
rolled
That's
wrong.
not how it
Roll
works.
anything.
That's 11, guys. We're fine.
Oh wait, no. Yeah, we can't get lost. Unless it's magical. Yeah, we can get lost.
Mm-hmm.
We get lost.
So, or quite happily strides off forwards towards. Well, I mean, you can. It's like you can't get lost if you know where you're going.
That's a really fair point that I kind of thought about but decided to ignore in my head. And now that you point
Because
it out,
it's
I'm
not
like,
like Arsene
yeah.
steps in a forest and goes, "Oh right, yeah, exactly over there is where where we're going," despite having never been there.
But they
Once
would
you
know
get
where
there, you can get out. You can get the same way back out quite easily.
they
But,
would know how to get out.
Yeah, but like you can't just step into your favorite terrain and go, "I know absolutely everything which is here. I'm omniscient."
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I just, in my slightly brainless state,
Like,
decided not
you
to
can't. I
ignore.
was gonna say you also can't get like so turned around. You find yourself where you started. You can easily recognize that you're going back the way you came, but like you can get lost trying to get there,
Okay. Yes.
but not to
I
like
am
the
okay
extent
with
that
this.
you're walking in circles for ages. You know, it just takes you a while to pathfind and everything. Okay, so Boar quite happily steps striding into the jungle with great confidence in himself. Enough confidence that most of you guys are somewhat reassured, at least to begin with. As he strides into the jungle, you cautiously follow and find that through the thick undergrowth and towering trees, it's quite difficult to make progress. The rangers are able to help guide and point through different directions to make your travel ease, but traveling through this jungle is unnerving. Plants of brilliant shades of violet, pink and blue, pink and blue plants dot the ground, varying in size. Some from as small as Davies to others the size of boar. The undergrowth is thick, and the somewhat cool but humid air makes it hard work to travel as you hack and push your way through. The jungle almost seems to resist your travel. On more than one occasion, you find yourself stripping over vines and roots you could have sworn weren't there moments ago. The buzz of insects makes it hard to hear much else, only being beaten by the sound you make, by the sounds of you guys making your way through. It's a somewhat difficult and arduous journey as you are traveling through. And so Boar is leading the front. Who is at the back?
Probably me.
I was about to say, since I get a bonus proficiency with intelligence and wisdom, so that counts for perception and investigation. Maybe I should stick to the back.
But you're at the front.
Yeah, you said you're helping me.
I suppose if I realise that Boar's doing just fine, then maybe I should drop back to the back to make sure we're okay.
Well, again, you don't particularly know where you're going, and Boar is walking with confidence.
Yeah, that says a lot. Okay, I'll stay at the front then.
What the
So yeah, I'm probably at the back.
Okay.
Purely
so-
from being shy and
This wouldn't be letting you tag behind.
Are you saying that Agnes would be stood behind her, just making sure she isn't going anywhere?
Come on. No, more like. Do I
Has
say-
fashioned a lead out of some vines and has tied it around her waist and just keeps on tugging every now and then. Come on, keep going.
No, it's more like, you know, when you see school kids on a big class expedition, one teacher at the front, one teacher at the back.
All right, so Agnes is at the back.
Yeah.
Okay, so Boar and Agnes, perception checks, please.
Alright.
You know what? I should probably get a marching order. So we have
Fuck.
Boar, Arsene.
Yes.
Who's next?
Perception is a +2.
Centaur.
Karann, okay.
Karann goes toward the back with Agnes.
So,
As is Amara.
21, motherfuckers.
Or I see
Cerno.
Karann. Who's next?
Cerno?
Cerno was up with Boar on his shoulders. Unless the jungle doesn't allow that.
I mean, it's quite difficult work. Boar has to be swinging his hand axe to be kind of cutting through to make way. It would be quite difficult to stay balanced on his shoulders.
Cerno will have fallen back. Mid-ish, I guess, then.
All right. So Boar, Asin, Karann, Cerno. Then
Savengale.
Avangel, Amara, and then Agnes. Okay. Just we have a lot of A names.
Mm.
We do.
All right. So, Agnes, you are ever vigilantly making sure everyone is still there. No one's going anywhere. No one's going anywhere they shouldn't. No one's touching anything they shouldn't be touching. You are ever vigilant and doing a very good
Watching
job.
the children.
You're completely oblivious to the dangers around you. Ninja, as Boar's sort of making his way through, and it kind of makes sense, him being at the front and sort of hacking and slashing, you do realize that it isn't just your imagination. The vines do indeed seem to slowly twist and wriggle themselves and sort of branch up and then down to try and form little loops which your feet can get trapped in, and they do seem to be purposely forming in front of the path which you're carving. You change your orientation, start carving your path through the jungle in a different direction, and in doing so, the vines and roots seem to twist and just try and predict roughly where you're going to try and trip you guys up.
Would the rest of the party notice this?
I mean, you're stumbling, but it's kind of hard for you to notice that they are actively moving in front of you. You just think that pretty much the entire jungle is just these vines and roots, which make it really hard to walk.
Okay.
However, you continue on your way. It takes a couple of hours. Your progress is slowed slightly, but again, thanks to the rangers, you are able to make a decent time compared to without them. You wind through the jungle. You see some small piles of stones, what appear to be once were buildings, maybe, or a building or a wall. Just sort of small piles of stone dotted here, there, almost completely covered by undergrowth for some of them. Hardly any of them show. In fact, most of them are covered by some form of vegetation, be it moss or some other form of plant growth. Some of them are just significantly more covered than others, and you only really notice them by accidentally stubbing your toe against one or something. You're guided through the forest. Boar's sense of direction doesn't seem to be too bad. RC, you haven't
Yay.
doubled back on yourself yet,
Oh,
but
good.
and you're making steady progress in a northward direction, to which is where you believe roughly the temple to be. You guys end up making your way into a clearing, which is actually kind of nice. The oppressive humidity of the jungle lessens slightly as you can see the open air, and a bit of a breeze is able to whistle down and in and sort of clear some of the air out. It's nice. It feels slightly refreshing.
Doesn't look dangerous, does it? It's not a dangerous clearing.
Why don't you make a perception check?
Oh no.
Come
Don't
to so
worry,
many
guys, we're getting
clearings.
close.
We've come to so many clearings in the past, and all of them have had monsters in them. All of them.
Big open space.
Find out.
Nothing else in the area.
It's
looks
not
like
a big
boss
open
room.
space.
It's
I
big
was
to
making a
San.
joke.
Oh yeah, it's big to Sano.
There's a map.
There is a map, which I didn't actually mean to move you onto. But
Oh,
sure.
hello.
Why, hello there.
Why
I
is it?
would actually like everyone else to make perception checks, please. I didn't
Why
actually
is
mean
it
to move you on
flash?
here. I was actually going
Hang
to measure
on,
stuff out,
my-
but you know.
My
Do I need to make a
my thing has
perception check as
frozen.
well?
What's going on?
Everyone, yeah.
Everyone needs to make a perception check. Right.
Oh,
is
So
gonna
it's
be-
flashing.
Oh, for God's sake!
Oh, Karann, that was cool.
So Arsene,
Ah.
there was a spider. Thank fuck Odd's not here.
Yeah, that's a spooky spider. I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Arsene, 15.
Stuff keeps loading in, and I don't know if that's meant to.
Comment
I
15.
have-
Yeah, there's a load of green stuff in the center, and it takes ages to load it sometimes. Comment center. Sophie 7, Ball 15, 7 girl 12. I need a perception check from Amara.
That was the 7, wasn't it?
That was a 7.
Oh yeah, 7. Sorry. Am I missing one?
I can roll it again if you'd like.
No, 7 girl. No, 7 girl. No. I'm going insane. Okay, and come on.
Correction, you're going more insane.
Yeah, probably. You three, you don't notice until too late that you've wandered into some rather sticky web on the ground. And it is around about this time when you notice this, and at this point I would change the battle music and, stick you onto this map, but I fucked that up royally. As soon as you step onto the web, you notice that the ground, I would say in front of you, but you're all looking the wrong bloody way. Blip. Blip.
So we were walking this way.
Yeah. Blip.
Are we supposed to have control over our own character counter thingies?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I
should do.
do. It's fine. It's fine. I have the wrong tool thingy selected. It's fine.
I have both Sophie B's in there. Because,
What do you mean both?
You're in this thing twice. I don't know which one's the real you.
Well, the one with the actual. I'm only in it once.
You're in it twice.
To look out. Ah, I have 2 roll
It's just it's the one that actually has my profile picture on
We
it.
don't. When selecting
don't get
tokens,
to
you
see
don't
that.
get the profile picture.
This is literally all I have to go off.
Hey. You. Is there any way to find out later and we can just kick the one that's.
I'm sure there is, but right now, this works perfectly fine. All right. So, intense battle music. Dun 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 dun. In front of you, the ground bursts open, revealing. It sort of bursts open, and there's shudders as the giant spider emerges. Seems very happy that some of you are trapped in its web. You are that area which is around the black box, which is inside the black box, counts as if a web spell. Just FYI.
Nice.
I presume that means we are stuck.
A web spell means each creature
You
that
have
starts its
to-
turns in the webs or that enters them during its first turn must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is restrained as long as it remains in the webs or until it breaks free. The creature restrained by the webs can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. That's just a set DC. If it succeeds, it is no longer restrained.
Okay, so I presume you want us to make dexterity saving throws?
No, you guys are currently in the webs. You are not stuck yet, but come the start of your turn, you will have to see if you are or not.
Okay.
Meaning. Initiative?
Meaning initiative.
Ah,
Yay, initiative!
Time to
Yay!
beat the crap out of some spiders.
Plus,
I think it may just be 1 unless we kill it and it does the whole.
Ooh, another natural 20.
one sec.
Wow,
Let me
look at
just-
you so
and then-
fancy.
And only 1 behind you.
You know, there are better ways to spend your natural 20s than initiative.
oh!
I mean, that's probably the best way to spend your natural one, but
I can tell this is not going to be good today.
20 and a 17. And 4 got a 4.
Yep.
Savangal got a 9. All right. Cerno, your turn.
So I've just seen this big fuck-off spider just burst out of the ground.
Yep, mandibles clicking, multiple eyes glancing over the place, and it seems to zone in on the 3 tasty prey stuck in its web.
Okay. Is it an action to move someone?
It takes, to move someone 5 feet, it takes 10 feet of your movement.
Okay. I'm going to see this. Oh, that's not good. And I'm going to wild shape
Certainly.
into
Did you wild shape into it?
I don't know what kind of creature it is.
Don't you just have to see it?
I
Or
have
do you-
to see it, but it
You have to
depends
have-
if it's outside my challenge rating and such.
You have to have
Uh,
some understanding of the creature that's sort of in world. Outside, no, he would not be able to transform into this. It is too powerful a creature.
Oh, good.
Bearing in mind that he still
that's
can't transform.
comforting.
Bearing in mind he can't transform into a Triceratops as well, but he's seen one of those.
I mean, I didn't know the challenge rating, so like
For
it,
him to be able to turn into it, you could make
it was a genuine
mush.
question.
For him to be able to turn into it, you could make it mush in one turn.
It was a genuine question.
So, what's the highest challenge rating creature you can turn into?
It wasn't
Is
a.
it half?
It would have been half, I believe. The ape is the highest thing I can. It was half challenge rating. Currently, but the highest I can go up to at all would be 1. I believe.
Okay.
My
Oh,
yeah,
understanding
just
of it is
ever.
correct.
Yeah, the crag cat's one, but you can currently transform, as in what you can actually transform into, it's a half. Okay, just to put this into perspective, 6 characters of level 6 will find a challenge rating 13 monster a medium encounter.
Yeah, it's still not getting the point that we don't know the challenge rating of the spiders, so shush.
I can
My
assume
point
based
being,
on the
this could be
DM's
anything from 1 to 13.
Shush.
Could be above a
And
13 though.
anything above 5, no druid can transform into if it's playing by the standard rules. So, yeah,
Yes.
I'd like to wild shape into an ape, please.
Into an ape. Certainly. I knew I was in the character storeroom for a reason.
Time to
Ape
learn
Cerno.
polymorph.
Mhm.
Time to learn polymorph.
Not unless you feel like classing into a wizard.
I meant in
You can hang out
general.
with the tree with near Dayron.
Alright, and I'm going to move forward. I'm going to grab Agnes and pull out
Oh,
of the web.
All right.
That was 5 feet, and then it takes.
This feels really less dramatic without the music, I must say.
I know. So I'll pull Agnes sort of just to the side of me, out of the web.
All right.
If someone can move Agnes, please. There we go. So that was.
So 5, 10. You've used 15.
Okay, 15. I have a movement speed of
30. So
30.
you've got 30 feet left.
This is difficult terrain, yeah?
Yes, it is. The stuff is difficult terrain.
So, okay, so that was 5 feet, and then I moved Agnes, which was 10 feet, so that was 15. I moved there. I'm gonna move. Can I move Samangal to behind me? Sort of away from the spider?
I'm gonna
into that
say moving
space?
Savangal takes more because they are in difficult terrain. So are you. So it's a lot harder to move her.
Yeah, it's alright. Alright, I'll just be beside Savangal then. If I can.
All right. Arcane.
no.
Seeing what that Cerno's already pulled Agnes to safety, I'm not sure if I can pull anyone else out. So I'm just going to try and keep it at bay by stepping forward, casting Hunter's Mark, and just shooting it. Okay, okay.
Alright, your hunter's
What
mark falls
for?
upon the creature.
Mm-hmm. Yours. Time to shoot. 2 shots. So we have an 18 and a 19.
Both hit.
What's this? Actually
Woo!
hitting for once?
I know! Nice change of pace.
Alright, your arrows fly through the air and land into the creature's hide. Well, not hide, it's more sort of furry body. You've seen a bit of ooze kind of leak out of it, and its eyes seem to focus in on you. It doesn't look particularly happy.
Good.
It's carapace.
Alright, let's see. I'm going to zoom out.
Oh, I hate spiders.
This is just a standard
Karann.
Tuesday.
God damn it. Scene doesn't hate spiders, but I do.
Going to move behind you guys. She actually has quite decent view, and she's going to call out, I advise you don't get close to that thing. Draw an arrow, short bow. Let's see.
You like to think that the sound effects you make are the canon sound effects of...
Oh yeah,
Just...
15 just hits.
Oh. She's using a... Oh. Oh, wait, I noticed it.
She is using a short bow.
Yeah, so it is different, isn't it, the to hit?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a short bow. I couldn't remember though.
9 points
Shut
of
up,
damage.
phone. Stop. Don't do that, phone. Shut up.
Yep.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut
That
up.
was
We're fine.
something.
We're fine. I dropped the thing.
Yeah,
I'll do
that
it.
is. Just, I suddenly went, oh shit, short bows, they have shorter range. Let me check. Yeah, no, it's in range. Okay. The spider, not happy being pricked by 3 arrows in very quick succession, is going to glance around. And it's... what is it? It notices Arsene. Kind of... And as you see, its head suddenly kind of goes up and just flying through the air is this weird sort of green salivary globule.
Not again. No.
I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Wait, charisma?
Charisma. Huh.
Oh no. Oh, thank God. I had a
19
charisma save of 0.
As the green ooze kind of hits you, a strange sort of wave comes over you, and you sort of have to close your eyes and shake yourself, and that was weird. Ugh,
Yeah.
you don't like it.
I was expecting burning pain. This is worse.
It is then going to click some more, and it's actually going to scurry forwards.
Oh, hi.
Amara. Right, Amara, I require you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
23, you are not restrained. This is, however, difficult terrain, so each square costs... So one 5-foot square costs 10 feet of movement.
Okay. So we were advised not to get near it, correct?
She did warn you of such, yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to heed that advice for now and cast the firebolt cantrip.
Certainly.
So I need to do... What do I...
D20 plus 3.
Yeah. I just needed to check it was a D20.
13. Unfortunately, as you heed the advice and mutter the arcane incantations and point your hand forwards, the firebolt goes out. The spider seems to notice it coming and flattens itself to the ground, and the firebolt just sails over and splats against a tree, and you see it sort of catch slightly and smolder before going out.
Fine.
All right, that means anything else, Amara? Amara?
I do. Let me check. One sec. Sorry, I'm just looking at what bonus actions I have.
You should move.
Yeah, I know. I'm just seeing if I've got anything. Yeah, no, okay. Oh, I'm going. Actually, I think I'm allowed to. I'm going to move to there because I can do that.
If you move out of its radiance, you'll get attack of opportunity.
If I what?
So, if you move in and then move out, it will get to hit you.
Okay.
Because if you leave someone's range, get attacked.
Am I able to just do that?
Yes, you are.
Okay, then. That's
Take
all
10
right.
feet of movement.
Actually, wait. Maybe? Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
You can move further.
I'll move to there instead.
You can move.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to move too far away.
All right. Savangal, your turn.
I suppose I need to make a dex saving throw, right?
Dex saving throw.
Oh.
13. That is. Let me check.
I am rolling single digits so far today.
Oh, sorry, no, 13
Curse is
was
targeting you.
10. Yeah, no, unfortunately, 10. You are stuck in the web.
Yay!
No, Savangal, no.
The creature is restrained as long as it remains in the web or until it breaks free. A creature restrained by the webs can use its action to make a strength check against the spell against the DC. If it succeeds, it is no longer restrained.
My strength check save is a -1.
Well, you gotta roll high. Or, you could do stuff. Up to you.
Nope.
Savangal,
Doing
she tries to
bad.
pull, and you notice that the fur is getting caught in the webs, and wincing, and she's now beginning to reach for the rapier to try and cut away some of the webs just to get her out of this. Savangal is thoroughly stuck. Agnes, what do you do?
This everything changed from my original bit. So I'm going to You can get the cone, by the way.
I can get the cone, can I?
Yes. Although
the cone of fire.
I can aim it. It's the 30 feet one because I'm doubling it.
Thank you for clarifying that. I just copied the wrong the other one. Bleep.
See, Atlas, this is the cone.
Yeah.
Just to mention this. Cone's 30 feet, isn't it?
That is.
Okay. I
You?
burn it, and I'm gonna cast at level 2.
Alrighty. It has to make, is it a dex save?
Yes. And everything around it starts to burn.
Well, it succeeds on its dexterity saving throw.
Well, Still on fire. Half as much damage on a success, so 40. Wow. 7.
Let me just remind myself. All right. 15, so it takes 7 points of damage as everything in that cone is now on fire.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
What if the others set on fire?
Wait, what?
Your turn.
What if the others set on
Okay,
Agnes
fire?
hadn't
so-
thought that far ahead.
If I step into the web, how much is that?
The web reduces your movement speed, and you must make a check to see if you get restrained.
I'm going to start throwing darts at it then.
Certainly.
Roll d20. What is it? +6. Aiming for one of its eyes. Why does that not? Oh, if there's an R in front of it. Ugh. 9.
9.
As you kind of step forwards and go to throw the dart, just before you release, there's a flash of fire as it engulfs the webs, and you kind of shield your eyes, but the dart still goes flying. You
I
do get
throw-
another attack.
I throw another one.
Roll again.
12.
This time the fire has settled and you're a bit more used to it. You take aim, you throw, but as you sort of throw, there's a crackle, and the spider sort of lunges away from some of the burning web, disentangling itself, and the dart just sails harmlessly past.
That's all
Seriously,
I can
you should
really
be able to hit this with average rolls, dude.
do. Right? Fuck.
Anything else you do, Boar?
I don't want to get into the web more than anything else. And I don't think I can use my bonus action to throw another dart at it. Yeah, that's all I can really do.
All right. Sana?
Alright, I need to make a dex save.
Yes, you do.
Alright.
Technically, you should have made it when you entered.
Yeah,
but
I know, I forgot, I'm sorry.
No worries.
So it's a +2. Oh, 1d20 +2. Yeah, +2. 17.
17. You are not restrained.
I'm going. Can I move Savangal even though Savangal is restrained?
No, you would have. You can spend your action to unrestrain her.
That'd be a strength check.
That would be a strength check.
Can I summon my spirit totem while in wild shape?
I believe we said that you could. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to summon my bear spirit, please.
Bear spirit, it is. Boop. The bear spirit just kind of casually paws its way out of the ground, stretches, big stretch onto its hind legs. No.
And I'm going. So with a beating of my chest, my hand sort of getting stuck against my chest, and I have to pulling hairs off my chest from the stickiness. I summon the bear spirit in a place that will effectively hit everyone. So like that, pretty much. So everyone gets plus
11.
11 extra hit points.
11 temporary hit points.
That's everyone, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
So much health.
Nice.
Alright.
And you've added already.
Alright, and I'm going to use my action to pull Savangal free.
Alright, make a strength check, please.
Now, just double checking the ape's strength. Just a straight strength check?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the first one. The second one.
Alright, so you. It's meant to be your action, but I'll allow you to maneuver Savangal to there. She is, however, still restrained. You just sort of grab her and just pull, not really thinking to lift her up, and just you hear the snapping of some web as Savangel, you just suddenly get manhandled by an ape and just moved about 5 feet away from where you were.
Thank
Alright, so
you.
that was my action. Can I use my movement to move her as well, or was that my whole turn?
No, that was pretty. It was to see if you. It was an action to see if you could unrestrain her. I allowed you to be able to move her 5 feet. You have your movement, but she is still restrained and unmovable with your movement.
Okay. Alright then. That was everything I can do then.
Alrighty.
Yeah, everything I can do.
Arsene, your turn.
Hoping if I keep attacking it, I'll keep it distracted.
I think it's pretty distracted by the fire, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
Hit and a hit.
Okay, I'll roll.
Wow! Natural 20!
I'll roll them separately because I'm not. Yeah. That's So the first one was the nat 20.
An 8 and an 8.
Alright, and an 8. 16. That's less than the other time.
Slowly whistling it away.
And then I'm gonna spend my bonus action putting my bow away and pulling out the longsword just in case it decides to come close enough. And then I can start attacking it next time.
Certainly.
Okay.
Alright. Karann is going to notice this and is going to clippity clop the way over to here and then take another shot. The arrow goes wide. The fire seemed to be messing with the trajectory somewhat and just spinning it off into the distance, and you just hear a slight hiss underneath her breath.
I expected better.
The spider, starting in here, takes 2d4 fire damage. 5.
I was just looking up fire damage.
It states in the web spell. It not particularly happy with this.
Oh no.
No, I tried.
Attack
It's
of opportunity, please.
Yep, it's going to incur that. Also going to.
Hi.
I can't make it to Agnes.
Okay, it doesn't recover
Well,
that.
That's an 11, that doesn't hit.
No, that doesn't hit, I'm afraid. So it
I
doesn't
can
recover
make it
that.
to Agnes. Wait.
However, it does get to make 2 bite attacks. As it scurries up to you, mandibles clicking. 2d20, let's see. We are looking at a 16 and a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those both hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 'cause you didn't know mage armor. No.
Nope.
That is 2d6 plus 4. That is 12 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And 24 poison damage.
Okay, 1. And then minus. Cool.
Amara, your turn. As you've just seen this spider scuttle out of the fire and chomp down on your new bestie. How do you do this movement? I'm just curious how exactly.
What's your movement?
I believe it is
45.
40. So you. Oh shit! You can't see mine.
40?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. No, that's fine.
So you can effectively move, like... Can you move on a diagonal past the webs?
No, that would be incurring.
Alright, so you move like that. Then
Contact.
there. Pretty much.
Yeah, you can move like that. look, some of you have your ruler set to invisible, so just saying, whoever's currently rulering, no one else but me and you can see it.
I know.
See the yellow one? Oh.
Yeah, the yellow one's mine.
The blue one was mine.
I didn't see the
Alright.
But
blue.
only Nick could
What were
see
you doing?
Only
Measuring.
I can see the only. So the GM can see any invisible rulers.
I know.
So Amara, you dart up. Thankfully, that was not web, which you're now standing in, so you don't take the fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Sophie, you're muted.
Oh no.
I've been talking to myself this entire time. I was explaining what I'm doing and everything.
Oh, God.
There.
I'm
Oh.
okay. I'm fine.
Well done, Sophie. Well done.
I was bound to fuck up at some point, right? So yeah, I would like to attack with my short sword. I'm just checking what else I have.
You got your fist.
Yeah, okay. Short sword to start, because I can do. It says here somewhere I can do 2-weapon fighting. Does that count as sword and fist?
So you, as a monk, can use your short sword and then use your bonus action to punch with your fist anyway.
Yeah, okay, that's fine then. We'll do that.
I mean,
So
you
yeah,
can
I would
just
like to use my short sword.
punch anyway. And also, I would recommend refreshing your page because I just equipped your sword and dart, so it actually shows you what the attack is for it.
Oh, wait, which page am I refreshing?
D&D Beyond.
Oh, crap. I've refreshed the wrong one.
Yeah, Roll20 takes a while for you to load in.
Okay. Please stand by.
Please stand by due to technical difficulty.
Spicy bunnies. And did you know that a fluffle of baby bunnies are just adorable?
Oh, so cute.
I'm back. I'm back
What
in.
are these slugs that look like bunnies?
Alrighty,
Okay,
the
yeah,
momentary
so-
bunny distraction dealt with. Roll your attacks, Amara.
Yeah, one sec.
You can just roll 3d20 plus 6. Or you can roll them individually.
I like
That's
it.
a miss and a hit. Your fist hits. As you sort of slash with your sword, it kind of ducks out the way, releasing its bite on Agnes. Manages to dodge the your sword kind of hits into the side of it, but the carapace is strong enough that it kind of just reflects it. But your fist swinging round lands squarely on top of the head, and you almost swear you see half the eyes go cross-eyed.
I'm pretty. I roll the same for using my fist as I do for the sword.
Sword, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a monk.
That's
Oh.
that's a mid-leveled monk for you. High-leveled monks, they do more damage with their fists than they do weapons. 7 damage is nothing to is nothing to stick your nose up at. As
That's
you
a
sort
good
of
one.
leave it slightly blinking in 3 or 4 of its eyes. Savangal, your turn.
Alright, she would like to go cast Shatter on the thing.
Okay.
You also need to do a dex save.
She is still restrained. She has not become unrestrained, so she is still restrained.
Doesn't what Cerno?
I only moved.
I was going to say, it's whenever you start your turn, if you're not restrained, you have to do it. If you're already restrained, there's no point doing it again. You're already restrained.
Mm.
So Sano will have to do it on his turn, because he wasn't restrained. But Savangal is still restrained. So Shatter, remind me what it has to roll again.
The con save.
Constitution, of course. Oh, you may not be
Kind of
happy
stuff.
with me for this. 18.
That is
Oh.
above it, so it gets half.
7 points of damage from the thundering crack.
And then she would like to cast Healing Word at level 2 on Agnes.
I'm gonna say you can't really see Agnes.
Oh, wait. Never mind. That's 2 spells. Never mind.
Yeah, it's also 2 spells. Also, there's an ape, some fire, and a monk in the way as well.
Yeah.
All right, Agnes, your turn at this point. I now need to
Fire, go bye-bye.
map level and draw and go.
And you know what?
Agnes gonna go bye-bye as well.
I'm... Ugh. How do...
Area scribbled
Is it
in
doing
is
this?
no longer web because it's
No fire.
I hate burn.
it's no longer fire either. It's just burnt away web.
I have 2 ways of doing this. And I think I'm just gonna do it the most safest way. Gonna cast Misty Step.
All right.
And
Where do you poof to?
I'm gonna... I haven't thought about what I'm doing after this. So, okay. I'm gonna go... I can go 30 feet.
Yep.
So, gonna go... Whoop, and 30 feet. And Chromatic Orb. Level 1.
Can't. You've cast a spell already.
Fuck you. That was more to the rule book than you. But
The spider is clicking menacingly in your direction. It seems to be gaining more powers.
I'm gonna.
It's concentrating very hard. You can see all the hairs on its body slowly turning
I
green,
can't do
slowly turning
shit.
gold, and standing on end.
Fuck you too, bird.
What else are you doing, Agnes?
Yes, see. Can't breathe
See,
much.
you haven't attuned to the Ring of Fire.
No, because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Burning kitty.
Like I could. Anything I am attuned to right now is either I fly up in the air randomly. I just start making more web for him. So it's not.
Oh, web. Oh, wait a second.
Shit.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Spider, that I burnt your home. Here we go. Let me just put some more down for.
Just go say hello to you guys for a bit. Just like hi bye. Okay.
Dayron starts booing you.
I was gonna say, what was his whole commentary about this whole?
Running away, how very noble. Oh, your turn.
Damn you, Nate.
Yeah, I can fucking make it. That's fine.
Yes, Abby.
Damn you and your references.
And I'm going to waste a key point.
All right, make your 4 attacks.
Fury of blows.
A hit, a miss, and a hit.
Okay, so that's 3 hits. Got it.
3 hits.
And the damage, or the plus gets added up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3, 6, 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just saw something funny.
Roll
3, 6, 9, the straight line, make it straight gun.
6 plus 9. 14.
You forgot the 3 in front of the D6, smarty pants.
Right, let me just do it 2 more times then.
Just roll 2d6.
Just roll 2d6?
Yes.
Okay. 8.
Right, so that is 22 points of fist damage.
Yay.
Woo.
Okay.
As you beat into its legs, it sort of turns towards you, mandibles clicking, eyes glaring. It seems to almost have one of the eyes beginning to bruise around it, becoming a black eye. It's slightly weird. Yeah, Jam, I could have made it worse. Sano, your turn.
Alright, I need to make a deck save.
Yep.
Was it? No, it wasn't +3, it was +2. Yes. I'll double check. Is it save or check, actually?
Save.
Alright. Okay. And... 14?
You just make it. You are still not restrained.
Oh, that's good. That is good. That is good. Okay. I'm going to move, so that's 10, 15, up to there. I'm going to grab Amara, going to move her back.
Hey, what?
Just one square. So she's
Oh, give me a sec.
hopefully out of biting
me a
range
sec.
of that fucking thing. And I'm going to and beat it. Just punch at it. So 2 fist attacks. So plus we'll do that, so that's
Miss and a miss, I'm afraid.
oh well. And
As you maneuver Amara, you go to swing at it, and you sort of feel her sort of grabbing at you as if to say, "No, wait, what are you doing?" And it sort of throws off your aim as you kind of turn over to go, and the spider is just able to scutter slightly out of the way as your fist hit into the mud, doing nothing. Arsene, your turn.
Woo! Well, from my measurements before, I can't quite reach it with my short sword. You know, I only move 30 feet, so we're just gonna go. But by long sword, not short sword. Bloody short bow confused me. I stand.
But you use a longbow.
yeah.
I know, I'm talking about what's her face.
Karann.
Yeah. It'll be fine, I won't hit anyone.
Sure, what's worse that could happen? Roll 2 attacks.
Hey!
Nice, you critical Sono. I mean, what?
What?
Roll your damage.
Thanks, Nate. There's the non-crit. Oh.
What?
No.
I'm scared. What's happening?
25 points of damage to the spider. I was joking, Comet.
Okay, thank God.
But it should mean you guys should pay attention more.
I just started reading something, sorry.
Thank you.
Alright,
Like,
so seeing as you loose 2 more arrows, tink, they stick into the spider. It is not particularly happy.
I'm going bit by bit. Determined to stop thinking.
One is going to continue trotting around and is going to make attack. Hits.
Yay! Glad you could join the fight, Karann.
What does
Wow.
it wear?
Arsene does not say this. I'm just being mean.
12 points of damage.
Oh.
As another arrow goes and sticks into its hump. Poof. It is not very happy about this. Nice. Alright. It, seeing as Boar's done the most damage,
Excuse me?
in the turn just gone by, I believe he's still... Oh, no, wait, you did do the most damage, but you're now blocked, so it's still going to go with Boar.
I'll get to you one day.
I would like a charisma saving throw, please, Boar.
Oh, no.
God damn it.
As it does the spit towards Boar.
I love these sound
It's
effects.
just a straight roll. It's alright, guys, because it's 10.
Oh,
Boar, as the spit sort of hits you and starts kind of sticking all over you and begins to feel like it kind of seeps into your skin somewhat, and all of a sudden you realize we're doing this terribly, terribly wrong. We just barged into this poor spider's home. You must stop your friends. You are under the effect of a dominate person spell.
God damn it! This is when I kill the party.
I'm having flashbacks to the T-Rex incident.
Yeah.
So the question is if all goes wrong, do we leave him to die?
no! We
That
spent
is-
so long trying to get him back to life.
And we're not doing it again.
And it's now
Yeah.
going to maneuver itself. So Boar is now forming a nice sturdy wall between it and most of the people who just punched it.
Oh.
Does it realise that was charmed or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Who?
The spider. Does it realise?
Yes. So it essentially casts. It is an effect which allows it to cast dominate, which essentially is akin to it casting dominate person. So it can tell that Boar is under its control.
Ah.
Why does this always have to fucking happen?
I mean, on the bright side, at least this time it's not that you're so dumb you can't tell that we're...
No, like
Amara, your turn. That is referencing a one-shot we ran where Ninja's character got transformed into a T-Rex, and so we rolled randomly to see who he would try and eat.
Yep.
I took
then
no
group
damage.
lessons
I
with
felt
that.
attacked during that.
I'd like to point out that the T-Rex's challenge rating was greater than the challenge rating combined of the enemies they were meant to be fighting.
We eventually got him down.
Wait, isn't that the fight where I only hit once?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's also
Because
when
it's
Ninja's
the-
character wanted to become a T-Rex again, so he stabbed himself with the blade and literally just committed seppuku.
It's
So we
literally-
left him to die.
I spent most of it riding around on Arkmir's back because he picked me up and took no damage the entire thing. It was brilliant.
Yeah, the squishy child took no damage. Anyway, Amara, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move to there and face him.
All right.
And I'm gonna do the same thing as last time.
Roll to hit.
That was a d20 plus 6. Yeah.
Yep. 14
Jeez.
just misses, I'm afraid.
Oh, for God's sake! Oh, don't I have the second one because I did the second attack?
Mm-hmm. You get 2 attacks per action.
Oh, for God's sake!
Weirdly enough, that one also misses.
Mhm.
You can use your bonus action to make a third attack if you want.
Yep. Oh,
That one hits. Roll your damage.
Nate, I have a
Basic
question.
through. Yeah?
I'm not told to attack. I'm told to be like, hey guys, we need to stop this.
No, that was the feeling you got when you got dominated. It controls you.
Oh, cool! You all are fucked. Okay,
Welcome to Dominate. Listen, one day 7 go will know it.
Don't worry, I'll let Ninja keep on rolling the attacks for Boar so we can see what happens there.
This is
Natural.
Alright, Amara.
when it's nothing but
Happy.
natural 20s.
yeah. This is when Boar actually starts rolling well.
Yeah, okay, so Amara, is there anything else you do?
Ooh, maybe. Give me a sec. I can do another attack as a bonus action if I use key points.
Yeah, you can burn a key point to do a 4th attack.
Yeah, screw it. We're gonna do that.
Alrighty.
What's it do?
I'm gonna use the unarmed strike, I believe,
Yeah,
or
okay.
yeah, that's the one that's a bonus action. So
Well, so you can make 2
sorry, no.
attacks as
Can I do flurry of blows instead of unarmed strike?
Yeah, no, that's what it is. So your attack action gives you 2 attacks. As a regular bonus action, you can do 1 attack. If you spend a key point, you can do 2 attacks as a bonus action instead. So that's what you
Okay.
do.
Which is what I just did to the spider.
So you can
Yeah.
you can roll another you can roll another attack, which hits.
Another 2 though, yeah, because it's 2.
No, you
Oh,
you
sorry,
you would
1.
get 4 attacks.
Okay.
Using the key point, you get 4 attacks. If you don't use the key point, you can get 3 if you use your bonus action to attack. If you just use your attack action, you get 2.
I've
So-
already marked off as a key point, so we're gonna do 4?
But that is your 4th. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
So a
sorry.
d6, another d6 plus 3.
Yep.
8 points of damage. Nice. As you punch and then just manipulating your own body's energy, kind of go low and then manage to swing around another punch, just clipping it around its defenses. Savangal, your turn.
She would like to cast dissonant whispers on the spider.
I was
Alrighty,
gonna
what's
say,
that?
would
Level
hideous
2.
laughter work on a spider?
I mean, have you ever seen a spider laugh? What does it have to roll? Wisdom.
No, I
Wisdom
have
saving
not,
throw.
funny enough.
It is not. It does not make the save.
There's gotta be a picture of it.
Remind me what dissonant whispers. Dissonant whispers.
Of course, this is
3d6
what
psychic,
happens.
that'll be what, 4d6 psychic damage at level 2.
Yep.
And uses a reaction if available to move its speed away from you. All right. She'll use its reaction to move away from you guys.
Now, does it get?
Boom.
Do we get attack of opportunity with
You
this?
do
or no?
get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sano and Amara do get attacks of opportunity.
That's
16 points
the.
damage.
Hey, I hit.
Is
do
it
hit.
just normal attack?
Yeah, it's just a regular attack. You also hit Sophie.
Hey.
I did 8 points
And
of damage,
8 points
guys.
of damage. It's looking quite unhappy with the circumstances. And that's an additional 8 points of damage. Alrighty. Agnes, your turn.
I am going to. That's the wrong thing. How does line up to get angles, miss the bear and the cat? Would I be able to shoot through there?
What are you shooting?
Chromatic orb?
Give you. That's quite a thin
Yeah.
line.
Would I be better off this?
Yeah, you'd be much better going down. Otherwise, you're.
Okay, doke.
I mean, like, it's not like you can't make it there. Going there is really pushing the fates.
Okay, dokie. Boop. Fire. Up, up, up,
That hits.
up,
Roll
up,
damage.
up. And this was first level.
Certainly.
Round 2 before. And it is.
12 points of damage. Nice. It really is not looking very happy.
Oh.
Boar,
Yes.
you're instructed to punch the ape.
Fury of blows.
Not fury of blows, you're just
No.
instructed.
Okay, just to
Actually,
punch
no,
him
3
once.
times, sorry. You're instructed to punch it 3 times.
Okay. Just the 3d20 plus the 3, right? Yes. No. 3d20 plus 6. That's what I'm thinking of.
One natural 20. Yeah.
That's a hit, a natural 20, and a miss.
It's a
Cool.
hit, a natural 20, so 2 hits, right? So just
Yeah, so roll a d6 plus 3 and then roll another d6 plus 3.
Whoops. Sorry.
Actually, you can roll 2d6 plus 3. We'll just double the second d6. Sorry, 2d6 plus 6.
Wait, no.
13.
Yeah.
13 points of damage to your monkey friend.
Alright, so that's
Wait, can I?
so 0.
I'm just
That's-
instructed to punch him.
So that's
You are also instructed to get the
Also instructed to what?
you're instructed to move there, and at the end of your turn, you get to make another charisma saving.
Yay, charisma. That's just a d20 plus 2. Actually, wait, no, that's nothing. Actually, that's a straight roll. Hey, look, a 4!
Unfortunately, you're still under the effects of the dominate spell.
Guys, kill it.
Alcine, your turn.
me.
Wait, no, it's
Oh, sorry, did I
Sono's
skip
turn.
you? Sorry, Sano, I skipped you. My bad. Sano, your turn.
It's alright.
You just got brutally mauled by your friend.
I'm gonna try and grapple Boar.
Alrighty. So that's an athletics check from the ape. Boar, that's an athletics or acrobatics.
Which one's higher again?
Now,
Six.
I get advantage on this because it's a strength check, right?
What does the ape say?
That'd be down to 8.
Oh wait, no, it's your bear, isn't it? What does your bear say?
Advantage on strength checks.
Yeah, let's do acrobatics. That's a plus 6.
It was...
That's an 8.
Just you and your allies have advantage on strength checks. Yep, you have advantage on it, Sano.
Yes. Okay,
Jam,
so
you shut the
you
fuck
said...
up. You shut the fuck up.
So yes, you have
so,
advantage.
so, okay, so it was athletics, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so that,
Get your fucking head out of the goddamn
and then
gutter.
that.
Oh yes. Ape Sano grapples the dominated boar.
I'm regretting this choice very much.
I'll see.
I'm not
I-
gonna get
Jam.
away.
Jesus Christ, woman.
I'm gonna shoot it.
He's your boyfriend!
You can certainly
Apparently
Boar's
that
not my
doesn't mean
boyfriend.
jack
How
shit.
far was that? Wait, did I say there or there?
Boar's not my boyfriend.
What is it with you guys and pairing me and my characters up with guys? Seriously.
It's just you, Comet.
Wait.
I'm the
just
common
trying to
thread,
help you.
but why?
We're just trying to help you realize yourself, okay?
Do I give off that vibe? Is that why girls don't like me?
That is one hit, which is a critical hit.
Aw. I mean, this is great, but at the same time, there's going to be calm after this. I can feel it.
Mhm.
Oh.
I'm trying to bring you into the gay
what-
community.
That's
Fair enough.
20.
Oh, don't
Okay.
worry, I know exactly what I'm throwing at you in my next session.
Mhm.
How do you
Is
want to
it
do this,
women?
Oh.
Arsene?
Is it
Hey.
women?
I-
Is that the question?
Can I, like... No, I can't do that. I'm just going to shoot it in the mouth because I didn't like that blob of goo.
As you wipe a bit of goo and sort of throw it off yourself, you draw another arrow, muttering under your breath some draconic swears, which you'll teach the parrots later. You release and arcs. It manages just to spin around one of its mandibles before arcing down and kind of striking straight into the underside of its throat. And the spider, sort of scurrying back, stops for a second, kind of wobbles before just collapsing to the ground. It is at this point that the dominate person wears off and Boar comes to his senses as Sano is monkey hugging him.
I awkwardly hug him as well. You okay there?
Does Boar have any memories of what just happened?
Yeah. He remembers what happened.
I didn't mean to punch you, I'm sorry. I got dominated. God damn it. God damn it! I shouldn't have said it that way.
I want to put my sword through its head. Bastard.
Certainly.
Mhm.
You're still stuck, I'm afraid, Savingale.
I was going
Oh
to say, does Savingale need a
Still stuck.
does Savingale need a hand?
Oh, you finally break free.
So
Why isn't there?
I was going to go help otherwise. I've keep
Yeah, me too.
my strength's too good.
Arsene,
I mean-
as you sling your bow over your shoulder and drawing your sword, you step towards the spider and you hear Karann going, "Well, that's great. That poison can be really." Never mind.
Mm.
As you just cut into the head, straight down, twist the blade, you just see green ichor spilling out and seeping into the jungle. And she was sort of trotting over. She just kind of starts to put her dagger back in and a vial back into a pouch. Never mind.
Can I poke it?
I want to say
You
something,
poke the
but I'm
dead
not
spider.
No, I'm worried there'll be more of these.
Would I have seen something like this before? Like, would she know what it is?
Makes little noises he
Roll.
refreshes the notes.
I'll allow you to roll a history check.
Okay.
While this is happening,
Plus
Cerno
three.
will have let go of Boar and will have walked over to the bear and given it a pat as a thanks.
Tried to give it a pat.
And sent it on off.
Certainly. Amara, although you have never seen these spiders in person, you are aware of them existing. They have quite a potent poison when injected into people, and also they create a sort of secondary poison which they do excrete by spitting, which can confuse whatever creature it lands on. It's normally used to sort of lure creatures closer to it and to stop their resisting, but it is used in a slightly more defensive manner as well to, if it is being ganged up on, to try and take control of one of the attackers and make them fight their own whilst it escape.
Okay.
Can I drop a healing spirit on top of Agnes just to sit and heal her?
You certainly can.
It lasts a minute.
Can I extract some of the chitin from the spider?
Extract what, sorry?
The shell armor plating, because I assume it's probably tough enough that maybe someone might buy it.
You can certainly try and make a nature check for me. 66, Jam.
Yeah, if it lasts for a minute, that'd be 10d6?
It's quite hard to... it's quite hard to sort of carve this... and yes, it would be 10d6 to carve this, but I mean, she's practically almost fully healed anyway.
She must be fully healed.
You're able to sort of carve bits of this carapace off. You're not too good. You're not entirely used to dealing with this stuff. It's a bit of a botched job. You kind of cut bits you probably shouldn't. There's scraps of it. I mean, you might be able to sell it to someone for some money, but probably not enough as much if you'd spent a while, if someone skilled with a blade had been there to, and knowing what they were doing to extract it from this creature could have get from it.
All right.
Just put in your bag giant jungle spider carapace. Right, Karann looks over the spider, retrieves some of her arrows. Well, good job, everyone. Shall we continue forwards?
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Keep an eye out for more of them.
Certainly. All right. So you continue to wind your way through the jungle. Having had this battle, you are slightly more aware and cautious of clearings, especially clearings which seem to be completely empty. You intend to avoid most of them, realizing that they are quite a good trap for those who are unaware to be eaten. You don't see any more of these giant spiders, and you actually realize you see very little life from what you can tell. Apart from the buzzing of the insects, which you kind of occasionally swat at, it's very hard to notice much life at all, even for the rangers. You do wonder how Karann is actually able to hunt in this place. However, you come to the end of the day. You've travelled a fair bit of distance for what you're traversing through. Probably talking to Boar, he believes probably another 3 days of travel.
What? Shit. Yeah, at least 3. At least. No more, no less.
Alright.
Okay. I'm guessing you have set up camp in here before, both Tabor and Karann.
Yes.
I try and avoid it where I can, but I have spent a night or two within these woods.
On the ground, above in the trees.
And she kind of just gives you a look.
I not been in forests, let alone this.
I think getting up a tree would be hard.
Okay.
It's alright, we'll just find somewhere that looks reasonable. Yeah.
Yep. Does anything around me look familiar?
There's a lot of trees.
Feels just like home.
The sort of types of trees are familiar, but the exact way it doesn't really match anything in your memory. Now, this could be because they've grown, or the fact that everything in this forest seems to be alive to the point that it has some movement. As you spend time setting up camp for the night and glancing around, you notice that the branches of the trees do seem to move and sway, but not in time with themselves or the wind. They do appear like the trees are almost just moving of their own accord, stretching sometimes and the like. You hear the slight creaking of wood. Mostly there's just the buzz of the insects.
It's okay.
Karann sort of paces around and settles down and says,
I'm gonna go pick up some sticks.
certainly. Well, I suggest we sleep and set off sooner rather than later.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'll take first watch.
If you
I
wish.
will
You
take
wish?
the 3rd one.
I will take one.
I'll take 4th.
I'm happy to take one of the watches with someone.
Why don't you join me?
Who was that to?
Do you wish me? Do you
You.
wish me to take a watch?
You could join me on mine.
If you so wish.
I'm not too familiar with the local area.
A slight smile creeps across her face. I'm sure.
We all smile back.
All right. So we have Amara and Karann as first watch. Who's second watch? Sorry.
Agnes and Sano.
Third watch.
Or
For fourth
Yep.
watch will then be Arsene and Savangal.
Sure.
Okay. Amara, I would like you to roll a perception check.
Hey.
All right. So as you and Karann settle down to take your watch, a small fire crackling, and everyone else. How are you guys actually sleeping? Out of curiosity.
The triangle. Remember in what we used to do in CCF, that weird triangle formation?
Oh yes, you mean a harbour.
Yes. Let's do that.
Certainly.
That feels safe.
Sano has no idea where he's sleeping, it's just on the ground.
So Arsene sleeping, bow next to her, arrow next to her, ready for the slightest movement to shoot.
And sword as well, yep.
Agnes
You guys are
hands
not
reach.
entirely aware what we're talking about. You'd sleep essentially in a triangle, normally quite large, made up of multiple tents, not tents, multiple bashes along the way, and you all face outwards with your weapons. That way, if you get ambushed at night, there is no behind to be snuck up upon, and they are sneaking towards the barrels of weapons.
Yes.
That's fun.
We can
It's
sleep
very
like that, I guess.
It's
So
used...
you don't quite have enough people. It would be 2 people per side.
I know, it's just a small one, but it feels...
You can certainly try it. That's for sure.
It just feels safe, at least. It's the comfort, rather than the...
Mhm.
All right. So, Amara, as you and Karann settle in for the watch, you hear the gentle sleeping sounds of the rest of your party.
Or snoring. Sano snoring.
Karann is lying with all 4 legs sort of tucked under the main part of her body as she sits somewhat upright. You notice it's kind of awkward for her to lie down.
Is that it?
Agnes occasionally breathing.
She
Every now and then
breathes.
you just hear, almost as if her body went, oh shit, breathing, that's the thing we do.
That's the thing people do.
About
So
5
like
or so
you.
minutes later you hear, you think before she got all weird like this, she may have been a heavy snorer.
Noted.
She also isn't technically sleeping.
All right. So most of the watch goes by, and Karann gets a bit restless and sort of picks herself up, and I'm just going to walk around the perimeter for a bit. It's lying in one place whilst staying awake just gets me a bit jittery,
Don't go too far.
I won't.
Promise?
So
Promise.
sweet and
I'm-
innocent.
I'm taking this whole child thing very seriously.
She
What's-
slowly picks her way into the
Twinge
jungle.
of motherhood just hits Agnes for some reason.
I was going to say, you're able to somewhat keep an eye on her, but you realise that with the sound of the buzzing insects, it is nigh on impossible to hear where she's stepping, even with her hooves.
Oh no.
But you see her, she sort of walks around and then she disappears behind one tree, reappears from another a couple of seconds later, and as she sort of wanders, she seems to get slightly further away. The disappearing going from a second or two to a couple of seconds, slowly building up, and there's a point in time where she seems to be gone for an entire minute. You can begin to get a bit restless looking around, but she then reappears and seems to slowly make her way back towards you before settling down again, kind of snuggling slightly into the ground.
See anything out there?
No, but I needed to relieve myself.
Oh,
Well then.
your business is your business, lady.
Yes, indeed. The rest of your watch goes by without much interruption. All right. Agnes and Cerno.
I sleep now.
Well, you trance.
Well, you don't sleep.
Yeah, elves don't sleep.
That is true.
Agnes and
Meditate.
Cerno. A 9 from Agnes.
Oh no.
Cerno's going to click his hawk spirit into existence, and he's going to wild shape into spider form throughout most of his watch.
Okay.
So he's got the dark vision and blind sense, and now, can I say I would have summoned the spirit for Agnes roll?
Well, the spirit only lasts for.
I was just thinking for
Oh.
advantage right off the bat. If we don't play it
Yeah,
like
well,
that,
the
then
roll.
that's cool.
I was gonna say, how long do the totems last?
They last for...
Just for a minute. So this roll's sort of like capturing the vast majority of the watch. I'm all right with you using the spirit to sort of counteract Cerno's inability to see in the dark.
Yeah, that's cool.
But lasting for a minute, it doesn't really do much for a 4-hour watch.
That's cool. Thought I would check.
Actually, it's 3-hour watch, but you know.
And there we go, 18.
18. What's that sigh for?
Nothing.
A sigh of relief.
No, it just, the sense of one person who can't see a thing in the dark being really observant, and the person who can see for like a mile.
I mean, he is a spider, so he can actually see in the dark.
I missed that bit.
Yep.
He became a spider.
Okay, makes more sense.
All right. You glance around. You spend most of the shift sort of looking around. The slow shifting of the trees it's a bit more noticeable, especially to you in your blind sensed spider form, Cerno. You get a strong feeling of sort of like everything in this forest is almost forever slowly shifting. You get the feeling, I mean, you sort of know in nature things don't stay still, they do move, but you get the feeling like there seems to be something causing them to be a bit more lively than they probably should be.
Is it natural, if that makes sense? Like, what's the vibe I've got off this forest as we've travelled through here for the first sort of day?
It isn't what you expect for it to be like, but it doesn't feel like it's that against nature, if that makes sense.
Alright. Okay.
Maybe.
Are we near any trees? Every once in a while, Cerno will climb up the trunk a little, making sure he's clinging on and just taking a little scan around from a higher place.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of trees. Plus, you can have around insects. And picking up a tree, you get a bit more of a sense. There appear to be some animals which live up in the canopies. Maybe some monkeys, some birds and such.
I did catch most of that, but I've gone really roboto. My voice connection gone to bad balls.
Yeah.
Yep, mine as well.
Are we back?
Yeah, same here.
You sound a bit better for me.
Yep.
I only hear.
There we go.
Anna.
We're back. Full
There we
bars.
go, we're back. Yep, that was weird.
All the bars.
So animals in trees.
Yeah, so there's just appears to be some animals like probably a monkey or something in the trees. Some monkeys in the trees, some birds as well. Other than that, not much you find.
All right.
All right, on to the next shift, which will be boar.
Yeah, what all do I have to roll?
You have a perception to roll.
Oh no, that's not good. Well, D20. What does that? Oh, god dang it. D20 plus. Why is that being stupid now? 20 plus 2. What does I see?
Doop dee doop doop doop
Waiting for it
dee
to
doop.
load. There we go.
Sorry. No, I was waiting to type.
Ah.
Why am I getting such shit rolls? God damn it.
As you critted one of your teammates. Also, probably because Abby stole all your good rolls. Right, boar. You're
You've
still
never
a bit.
had any good rolls to make a steal.
You're a bit woozy, and you kind of fade in and out of a little bit of extra sleep every now and then. But during your shift, nothing seems to happen. Seems quite normal. Kind of glancing around over your friends, all there. The fire crackles slightly. The buzz of insects never goes away. And last but not least, Arsene and Savangal.
Yay!
Oh, something bad's gonna happen. I can feel it.
Number 20.
I can't get away with all these.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Maybe I'm just overly paranoid because of things.
Oh no, you're
The
gonna
role
absolutely get
Chris is
screwed
playing
later.
nice. Something's not right.
You're
Oh, I know what's not right.
There's a lot of noise in this jungle. Quite distracting. Quite interesting. Your attention is being split. Arsene, this jungle has made you feel unsettled since you stepped foot in it. It's not like any land or forest you're used to. You are very alert. And the slightest sounds, you're beginning to get used to the slight creaking of the trees, the whistling of the wind through the leaves and the branches. But there's one or two sounds which you sort of pick up on, which just stand out to be not quite right. There's what you swear is the slight crunch of leaves in one direction. Kind of glance to look over there, and you hear the slight snap of a twig over in an opposite, and you sort of glance back.
I'm just gonna aggressively pet Nighthide.
You maintain your watch, and throughout the rest of it, just every now and then, Arsene, you just feel like there's a noise which shouldn't quite have happened, and it did. And you kind of glancing around, but nothing seems to come of it. Morning comes, and you all awaken within good health, it seems.
Yeah.
That makes me think, okay. We should get going before too long passes.
We want to make as much progress as possible.
Karann sort of stretches and goes, yeah. Staying in one place too long in this jungle is not best. Not entirely sure how the monks do it.
well protected, I imagine.
Oh yes. Anyway,
Onward to
Yeah, let's get moving.
Well, out of question,
Mm-hmm.
how are they likely to react when we arrive there?
Greet everyone like normal.
What is normal?
They do
where you're from?
this then.
I am now extremely tempted to say hi, welcome to the Temple of Cord. Come and sit wherever you like, and we'll be with you in just a moment. God damn it, I hate working in fast food. Anyways, because that's immediately what popped into my head.
Hi, welcome to the Temple of Cord. Feel free to take a seat. Someone will be around to take your prayers shortly.
Yeah, something along that.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you for praying with Cord. Hope to see you again soon.
God.
Yeah, that's
All
pretty much
donations
about
are
it.
not necessary, but are very, very grateful when you do. And don't forget, this is a temple full of warrior monks, so you should really probably leave something.
I feel like Nix's temple was a lot more pleasant.
Oh my god. Anyways, but no, we'll just be greeted. We're always happy to see new visitors. Just
Probably
stay
because
away
they
from.
rarely get new visitors.
Yeah, pretty much. Just avoid Todd. Todd's a dick.
You've already used the name Todd.
Yeah, isn't Todd one of the people from the Temple of Cord?
Your
No.
memories are...
He's the one
No,
that you
it's
pissed
not.
off.
Yeah. Todd's a dick, anyways.
One that also our ghost friend remembered.
Dee-dee-doodly.
Oh yeah, newcomers to the group have probably seen Agnes make whispered comments and jibs to nothing.
And sometimes get an annoyed, shocked, or amused look upon her face.
As I was taking my watch through the night, was there any... the forest was seemingly always moving. Was there a direction it was moving, or was it just moving?
It just seemed to be sort of flowing around. Ordered chaos, it seemed. Nothing seemed to hit into each other, but there was no true structure of where everything should be going.
Okay. I'm ready to go when you guys are.
Yep. I start walking.
Alright. Well, Karann keeps pace with you as you guys make your way through the jungle once more. You slowly pick your way through, chopping through vines once again as they try and slowly snare you. Are you taking the same order as before?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alright.
I would like Cerno to be at the back behind Agnes.
Wow.
Alright. You're
Thank-
slowly making your way through the forest, cutting through the vines. You notice that there's a clearing up ahead and you decide to avoid it. You slowly hack your way through, and there's something slight. I mean, it's like a slight clearing in front of you. As you step forward, you hear a slight clicking noise. I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Did he not have to make a perception? God damn it.
He's a monk.
Dexterity saving throw. That's a +6. Does this help me at all today?
Try to bless you.
Natural one.
Come on, right
What
to
the
me,
fuck
right
is
to
going
me.
Why is everything on my keyboard does it helps?
It's a
13.
Okay.
You're just able to get your foot out of the way as an old bear trap the slams close just millimeters away from the bottom of your foot as you pull it up.
Oh, thank God.
If you
Ironic.
inspect it closer, it appears to be well rusted. Probably you would probably need your tetanus shot if you got cut by it.
Mm.
It seems to have had some vines sort of grow into parts of it, causing it to sort of spring close slightly slower, giving you decent enough time to withdraw your foot. And it just seems like it's been there for quite a while. You're almost surprised it's in working order. Karann sort of looks down and goes, "Yeah, they some hunters don't quite understand how the creatures in this forest work."
I wonder if we can reuse it.
More of them?
Not here.
Perhaps. Although the vines will probably stop them closing most of the time.
In a different place, maybe then. A different forest. A more comforting forest.
Well, the vines may trip us up, but they have some uses. Anyway, should probably continue onwards.
Right.
Yes.
Onward to adventure.
Alright, as you sort of wind forward towards, still somewhat northern direction, Bo, I'd like you make this survival check.
Just another survival check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotta find where that is. It's a +2 again. Yay! Oh, fuck.
We are lost.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, cool. Well, you're going in a direction you almost certainly think is the Temple of Stone Warrior. As you're sort of making your way through the jungle, you notice there's slight flashes of stone. Unlike what you've seen before, this appears to be a decent wall, and you're like, yes, no, this is it. This is definitely it. As you kind of suddenly increase in speed and push through the brush, what you actually appear to, and it quickly dawns on you that this is most definitely not the temple. This is instead what appears to be the ruins of a tower. It's an ancient stone building, which has been reclaimed by the jungle to which it sits in. Crumbling stones and twisting vines make up the vast majority of its walls. There's more green than grey now. A strange stone archway seems to make up the original entranceway, and it appears to be made of a sort of black, glassy-like stone with white streaks throughout it. There's some crumbled walls, and you can see light and greenery within. And, well, yeah.
Yes. I want to look. Please, let me look. Please.
Yes.
Ruins. Tower ruins. Strange glass. Strange
Is this a
stones.
clearing?
Don't touch anything.
There is like one or two trees missing, but the tower is there. There's a bit of space around it, but there are trees which sort of cover over it.
Okay.
Do we have time to stop and explore? Maybe
I would
Sort of
not
looks
waste
around.
too much.
How tall is the tower? Or the ruins?
Well, the ruins of a tower.
I'm already touching things and looking at things.
Oh no.
Wow.
I don't care.
Oh no.
This
You're
is
looking
interesting.
at least part of the wall is probably reaching about 50 to 60 feet in the air.
Does it go above the canopy?
Whoa.
No,
Okay.
it's sort of just intermingling with the canopy at that height.
I'm just happy to find something reasonably distracting from how.
But that's only like a
That's
small sliver. That's only like a small sliver of the tower's wall, which goes up that high. Most of it probably is about 2-3 stories with a hole, with some big holes in it. Anyway, you kind of look at it and you go, "Well, it looks like that's now being held up more by the vines, stone. Thick vines."
That's concerning. I don't want any of it to get dropped on me, but I still want to look at it.
Is there any of the vines moving? like in a way they shouldn't be?
Pretty much all of
naturally
them.
Still.
Okay.
Is there a way inside?
Yeah, there's the original entrance way, and there's about a, I don't know, 25-foot gap in the wall.
Then I was gonna take a step inside.
I went there.
No, that's isn't. Guys, this isn't my temple.
I know.
But
Are you
As you
sure?
sort of
you need to
go
go
on
to
It's
the
a
through-
temple.
magnificent building.
As you glance through, you see within what appears to be a massive stone statue. It's carved into a position as if it's straining against invisible restraints. It's a giant of a humanoid. It probably did once have carved angular features, but chunks seem to have been removed by the passage of time and vines.
I'm really
Vines wrap
scared,
around
guys.
its legs and around the vast majority of its body, whilst its clenched hand
No.
has some flowers growing from it.
I'm really scared.
Let him describe things.
No. He said about annihilating half of a.
That was a
I
joke.
was just kidding. Although, the land
I don't-
sharks were supposed to be a joke.
The land sharks are a thing which exists.
I know.
Also, it was still funny.
It was still
So,
very
To
funny.
you?
So a giant of a man, bound in
A giant humanoid
giant
shape.
humanoid
Can
shape.
I please investigate? Please.
Yes.
I want to know everything about this. This looks really cool.
Are the chains visible, or is it just looks like he's straining against
There
them?
are no chains, so it's sort of like it's sort of like bent at the knees, two arms sort of brought down to its side. Imagine like a heavyweight champion, as in weightlifting. You know how they
Yeah.
sort of go down into that crouch just as they're beginning to bring the dumbbell up. That sort of like wide stanced feet, probably just beyond shoulder width, like sort of. Yeah, the sort of squatting position with arms quite low to the sides, sort of straining to lift up, but those are more sort of angled out to both sides.
Did you say one of the hands was reached out with flowers in it?
Well, but both hands appear to be clenched, but on top of one of them, some plant seems to have sort of grown and weaved its way around, and there's a couple of flowers just sort of growing out from it.
Can I inspect the plants?
You certainly can. Roll a nature check.
It's just a flat roll.
So, Amara is investigating the plants.
I'm investigating the statue because I'm curious why such a thing is in such a tower in the middle of the screaming vine jungle.
All right.
Look at it to
Roll
see if I
an
recognize
investigation
anything.
check, Arsene.
Investigation. Oh,
I don't
This is-
trust this.
I wish I could
Agnes is
do
just
that.
keeping an eye out.
So that
I'm
means
trying to gather.
Amara, Arsene, and Sano are inside the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Karann sort of takes up position slightly away from the tower, sort of short bow in hand, just glancing into the forest.
Hmm.
All right, Amara, you sort of glance over. There are lots of plants you don't recognize. There's one or two flowers you sort of go, yeah, no, I recognize those. There's nothing which leaps out at you, however.
Okay.
Arsene, with your great experience searching through ancient and lost buildings, you get a strong sense that this building was. You're not entirely sure which humanoids, but definitely like some form of humanoids. A great civilization, probably a few eras ago. This was created by, and it was probably once some form of grand watchtower.
Are there any?
I wonder if it's connected to the temple then.
I'm wondering, are there any kind of carvings anywhere or anything written?
Roll a perception check, Amara. What's everyone else doing?
Abigail's looking around to see what's in the tower.
Well, there appears only to be most of the other floors seem to have collapsed. Sort of glancing up, there's like bits of other floors sort of jutting out, but from what you can see, not much up there. If you want to roll an investigation check, those haven't go. Paul and
Alright.
Arsene.
I'm basically trying to find out where the fuck I took her.
All right, Boars kind of stood there, thinking, chin strokingly. Agnes.
Keeping a watch around the tower, who's in the tower, and yeah.
Okay. So Sam Girl's also in the tower now.
Could I
Uh,
try
right.
and find some of the stone on the ground to take? I'm getting a collection together of interesting
What
stones.
stone are you looking for?
The strange dark stone, the glassy stone you were talking about.
Well, you can investigate the door if you want.
Oh, was it just the door that was made of it?
Just the door which was made of it. The rest of the tower is made of normal grey stone.
Oh, then I want to investigate the fuck out of the door. I thought the entire tower was made of it.
No, it's just a doorway.
Intrigued
So you
by
can
the
roll
doorway.
investigation there. Amara, you glance around for some sort of inscription somewhere, and you actually come across what appears to be sort of to the back wall. What appears to be, and you saw a slab of stone. You sort of move it around a bit, kind of reposition it, scrape some growing moss and other greenery off it, and there does appear to be engraving. And I need to check what languages you know.
I was gonna say, is it one that I recognize?
It is in one you recognize. It is engraved in Elvish.
Ooh.
Where did I check that? You're an elf. Of course you know Elvish. It reads, "The Watcher ever vigilant, for where the water runs free, the lands run wild."
Hang on a minute, what was that? I'm writing it down.
The Watcher ever vigilant, for where the water runs free, the lands run wild.
Okay.
Right.
Is that a common phrase?
Mm,
Or is it just
you can. It's not really something you've ever really heard being said, although you may not be the best person to be thinking of. Social recluse.
I don't think social recluse out of choice though.
Savangale, you sort of poke around. There's a lot of greenery on the ground, a lot of stones. Nothing really spikes your interest.
Yeah.
Arsene, investigating the doorway. It appears to be made out of only the doorway. It appears to be made out of almost one continuous and very immaculately carved just band of this black sort of glassy stone. There's streaks of white throughout it. As you investigate further, you notice that engraved into one side there seems to be a very, very well detailed and engraved rose.
Ooh. Wait, no, it's next. I have a notebook. Damn it, Arsene. I wanted to do a drawing of it, but I went to touch it. Just, I mean, if it's impressive, and I want to.
You sort of run your hand over the engraving of the rose.
Where? Oh, ooh.
I guess how tall the tower would have stood when it was not a ruin.
Quite hard to tell.
Do I find any of the glass to take with me?
Glancing around the doorway, none of this material has been chipped.
Oh no, it was Lucian that had detect magic. Damn it, Lucian. Miss you, you son of a bitch.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic as a spell.
Thank you. I'm determined.
It's the first time someone has cast detect magic in this jungle. As you finish,
How overwhelmed is
as you
he?
finish casting Detect Magic, and you kind of glance up, the flares of magic all around you are quite staggering. In fact, to begin with, you just think there is nothing but just dense magic everywhere. But as it takes a little while for you to get used to the sheer amount of magic that you're detecting, you notice and you end up crouching down inside, and you notice that throughout the entire floor there are very small shards of a greenish, semi-transparent stone, and they're all giving off very faint amounts of magic.
So, shards of stones on the ground that are glowing in a green power-ish thing, right?
So they're glowing due to detect magic. Without detect magic, they're translucent green stones. But we're talking, these things are like, you're talking like half the size of one of your nails. They are tiny pebbles.
No, they're all that size, no bigger ones.
No bigger ones.
Do they look like they were a part of something whole, or they were like that?
It's hard to tell.
Can I try pick one up?
You pick it up.
Nothing happens. And then
You glance around a bit more. The plants, like this entire area is glowing, and you kind of look out some of the holes, and you notice the vast majority of the forest seems to have some hint of magic aura to it. So it's kind of like searching for a needle in a haystack at this. But the archway, which Arstine has stood in front of, definitely has slightly stronger hints of magic than the surrounding area.
am I able to tell the school of magic that it is from?
You can focus on it and try and figure it out. Yes.
Yeah, I'll focus on the doorway first.
All right. I would like you to make a spell casting check. So essentially, roll what you would roll.
So
Spell
plus
attack.
5. Okay. 24?
Inspecting the sort of doorway quite closely, you begin to get feelings and hints of conjuration.
Conjuration.
Ooh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
The glass, the translucent shards on the ground.
Another check, please.
I know someone who would like this place.
17.
These are much harder for you to identify, being their size. They have very diminished sense of magic, and you are struggling to grip what the magic which was once so strongly attuned to them was.
Are there too many of these to pick up?
I mean, you can't pick them all up, no, but you could pick some of them up.
I'll pick some of them up. I'll pick it up as many as I can while the spell is going. So it's easier to find them.
All right. What's everyone else doing?
Have I figured out where I took the wrong turn yet?
Yes, you realize you've been heading east when you should have been heading west.
Right.
Oh my god.
Can I speak to Agnes about the inscription I found to see if she has any better knowledge of it?
You can certainly leave the tower and go over to speak to her.
Okay.
Savangel's gonna attempt to climb to another floor.
Oh dear. Roll an. We'll go acrobatics check. All right. Well, using your claws and some of the vines, you're able to start catting your way up to about 10 feet, and you get to the small amounts of another floor. You sort of glance around. It's just you kind of go to put your paw on it to put some weight, and you just hear like slight creaking of rotting wood and a couple of stones fall to the ground. Don't think it could support your weight.
When looking outside, can she see more of the jungle? Like, what's the view?
all of the jungle, as if she'd climbed a tree.
Alright, she climbs down.
Alright. So Amara and Agnes.
May I help you?
Hello.
May I help you?
I found an inscription in the tower. It was written in Elvish, but I'm not very well versed in common phrases. I was wondering if it meant anything to you.
Would Agnes recognize it?
Not really.
Didn't think so. Do I recognize anything like the rose on the doorway or
Roll a general intelligence check. I mean, if you stood outside the tower, you're not really getting the same information as everyone else. You kind of need everyone to talk to you about what they're finding.
Well, she's told to me about the inscription. But I wouldn't know about the rose, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
unless Arsene goes over and talks to you about it.
No, Althea doesn't think people would find the things they find interesting to be interesting, so they're just going around the place as quickly as they can because they want to see everything, and then they know everyone wants to get moving.
9.
9.
9.
You're not really aware about the phrase.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not the best person to be asking about general intelligence of the world.
As you guys continue, you're sort of poking around the run, sort of front hoof kind of pawing at the ground a bit, so it kind of turns and then heads and kind of looks in through one of the holes in the walls. Kind of lets out a little low whistle, looking up at this giant statue. Like, that's pretty big.
You recognize anything about it?
I don't. I might have seen the tower before, but I've never really come to look in them.
Mm-hmm. Always recommend it. Never know what you find.
Rarely does there tend to be anything I'm hunting in them.
Right, yeah, of course. I'm just gonna, seeing Savangirl just climbing the place, I'm just gonna prepare myself in case something breaks while she's trying to climb it. I don't think she'll slip and fall because it's Savangirl, she's amazing, so she'll be fine, but in case something breaks, I'm just gonna prepare myself to go catch. Or at least
There are the occasional falling.
After picking up the shards, how long do I have left on the spell? If any time?
Probably about like 10 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably about 30 seconds.
I'd like to just quickly focus on one of the trees. With the vines and such.
Alright. Roll another Arcana check.
An Arcana check, or...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, roll what you've been rolling. The +5.
17?
This is magic, which you have. It feels familiar, yet very distant and unknown to you.
Okay.
There was a tree sort of like just. It's not growing within the tower, but it's sort of growing right next to the. So right next to one of the holes in the wall, and you're able to inspect it after having not moved too far from the. But you don't even need to leave the tower to be.
Yeah. How's it familiar to me? If have I encountered it before, or is it just the kind of
It
magic,
just-
like wild magic?
It just feels familiar, and the sort of like nature to it sort of reminds you a bit of your spells.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I suggest we keep moving if everyone's done.
Yep.
Yeah. Good idea.
Could
I'm
I-
gonna drop the
Could
spell.
I take a quick look at the statue? Because I haven't actually properly looked at it before we go.
While Sano's still picking up the shards, you can take a look at the statue. Yeah.
Okay.
Another investigation.
Hang on, I don't know what my investigation is.
Agnes is gonna glance at it. If she recognizes it, she'll say. Probably doesn't recognize it. Anyway.
Roll a. Roll an investigation check as well, Agnes.
Investigation. I meant to be good at that. No, I'm not.
Oh no.
Alright.
Shit.
It doesn't seem to mimic any sort of humanoid that you're aware of. It just seems to be carved. This is a towering statue. You're talking, it's like sort of shoulder span is about 15 feet wide. It is towering. But as Sano finishes his spell and he kind of glances up and looks around, is everyone heading out of the tower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. And as everyone heads out, as Sano steps over to the threshold, you all hear the very noticeable sound of stone grinding against stone.
I turn around as the statue moving.
I look around as well.
Its head has swung and has rotated to look at you.
At me?
At you. And as it does so, you see its arms begin to move. From the somewhat squatting position it's in, you hear stone grinding as it stands up.
Head, short sword drawn, sword drawn.
Do we run?
I'm just going to show you this lovely
Oh
battle
my
map,
god.
Oh, what the fuck?
and then I'm going to call it the session.
Sano, what the
God damn it!
We thought it was me taking stuff. Whew.
Oh my god!
Sano, you pocketed the stone. I missed that bit, didn't you?
I was picking up shards. I didn't even look at the statue! Oh my god! Oh no!
Well, fuck.
How did I forget to look at the statue?
I'll tell you that glancing around, you notice magic, but the statue is also covered in vines, so you could have. I was going to say, it's not like you were kind of just not seeing the magic coming off it. There was magic coming off it, but, without focusing, you probably just went, oh, it's probably just the plant life on it.
Oh no! And we're not even playing next week, are we? We got 2 weeks.
No.
Nope.
Oh no!
You got 2 weeks with that cliffhanger.
Yeah, like,
Oh, I mean, it's a kind of a cliffhanger, kind of not, because we know what the fuck we're gonna happen.
I don't particularly fancy fighting. I mean,
No, but I don't know how we're gonna get out of this.
to run the fuck away.
I didn't think it was that big!
We could probably put the shards back and make it stop.
Did you not hear Karann's comment? Ooh, that's big.
No!
We were
Oh
fought.
wait, yeah, you said BOP. Sorry. I thought you left.
Yeah.
This is fine.
That's okay,
We're
look.
fine.
In the other campaign, we fought a. Oh god, what are they called?
A god?
What's it called? No, 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 we didn't fight the god. The god just
A
killed us.
land shark.
No, no, no. The stone thing. The Kaz's
Oh, vampires,
brother.
dude.
Oh, what? His gargoyle.
That's it. The gargoyle. Yes, we fought a stone gargoyle. That went.
Bravar.
We
it
went.
Brava?
Yes, Brava. It was. It was something like that. The one I did nearly 80 points of damage to.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought it might be that. Oh shit, it's a Feywild Guardian.
Oh.
It's fine. We'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Have I spent enough time in the Feywild to know anything about it?
Yeah, that's some of the flowers you recognised. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Well, guys, this has been like Dave said, we will not have a session on the February of the 14th
We've got
because
2 weeks to deal with
Valentine's
this.
Day,
And I'm
also
spending it
that our
alone.
lovely DM is not going to be here either. He's going to be in America.
For the
I
VOD
mean,
viewers,
it's-
this doesn't entirely matter because the VODs go up
Nope.
so.
Sporadically.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Before I forget.
Hey,
I should do
I was going to
that.
say, I would like to
Thank you for the
rearrange what
reminder.
Ninja said. I would like to rearrange it to be the fact that I am not here is why there's not a session, and it just so happens to also be Valentine's Day.
Right.
I think it's cute that it is on Valentine's as well. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if none of us were in the same country, we'd still play D&D on Valentine.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we did.
It's just the fact that I happen to be in America. DMing from America is going to be a bit more difficult.
I'm just going to get drunk. It's fine.
I'm going to be
Some
alone.
of us have other. Some
No
of us have
comment.
other arrangements that day.
Yes.
Same. It's fine.
Well, if there's a one shot or not, who knows? But it
There
won't
won't
be me
be.
running it.
I'm not prepared.
No. I'd say comment. It
Comment.
doesn't take that long to prepare.
Yeah,
it takes
I was
like
gonna say, we can.
Abby could run her long plan.
6 hours.
We
Abby's-
will
Is Abby
we will
fine?
see what happens. There'll more than likely be a break. Give me a little time to catch up with the VODs. Because good art takes time, and we're commissioning every single thumbnail because I'm a fucking idiot. And I'm insane. We all knew that. And on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.